Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another preview game, game preview show on Chelsea Perspective, or preview if you prefer. And today we'll be previewing the home game of Chelsea Football Club's home game between, the Premier League game between Chelsea Football Club and Manchester United at Stamford Bridge. It will be, again, you could say one of the toughest tasks that Graham Potter will face as Chelsea manager, but I know we have a good enough squad to do better. The result, I cannot tell you now. We will try to look at the records between the two teams and also the current form, and then we'll try to predict the outcome of the game. So if you're around, sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. I promise you it will be a brilliant show overall. So let's get into it. Yep, so it will be a Premier League matchup tomorrow between the big boys. You can say two of the big boys in the Premier League, all top six teams if you prefer. It will be a home game for Chelsea Football Club and a away match for Manchester United. But again, never easy for any of the teams who are, no, it doesn't really matter, which of the teams is playing at home. Manchester United of late, you could say they've been in great form, and I knew that was coming. I only Ten Hag to understand or maybe pay attention to the record of Casemiro and Fred. Of all the games they played for Brazil, they've only lost once. And that shows you how good that partnership is. And it looks like, again, Casemiro has adapted so quickly, and he's done well protecting that Manchester United defense. I see him starting more games against opposition, that you could say more physical opposition than what's his name? Than Christian Eriksen. Although Eriksen can actually play in a more advanced role, but I don't know why. Ten Hag has used him deep as he's done before. But that's by the way. Again, we'll move on. Again, it will be an interesting a game. One that I'm a bit nervous about. But like I said, we have a good enough squad to win that game. Let's see. Hopefully, Graham Potter makes the right solution. I'm not sure what player he's going to pick, but we'll try to predict the players we think that he will pick for that game. Let's look at, again, all the records we're supposed to look, again, like the records between the two teams. Inside, it shows, again, ranked ninth in goals scored per match, 1.5 goals per match. That's not easy. Again, Chelsea haven't lost to Manchester United in their last 5 meetings. One win, again, and 4 draws. That's not really a good record. Again, if we won at least half of those, it would be a good record. Again, ranked second away from home. I wonder which of the teams has the best record away. Again, from away a record again this season. Is it Arsenal or who? But again, I haven't paid attention to that. It says again, ranked second from home. Yep, away from home. For Manchester United, they're ranked ninth in goals scored per match, 1.5 goals per match, and we're ranked what number? 9th. Okay, the same measure in that aspect, and the same again. You can say goal output per match. Here again, ranked third away from home. Okay, we've done better than them away, and they have again haven't lost in 5 matches. You can say it's pretty even. If you look at let me say, if you look at let me see what was I going to look at again. The form of late, again, it's been pretty much the same balance. Again, the two teams, let's look at it here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games here for Chelsea Football Club. And we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games here for Manchester United. And for the Samuel, again, brother, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Again, I appreciate you being in the chat. As you arrive, please take a second to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And since you're the only person there at this moment, please do let me know whether you can hear what I'm saying or not. But I believe the microphone is working. So now again, they won 1, 2, 3, 4 games and drew 1 0-0, and we've won 1, 2, 3, 4 games and drew 1 0-0. So again, on paper, given current form, given the rankings here, 19 goals, scores 1.5, scored 1.5 per game, 1.5 per game. Again, you'd say on paper, you could say it would be a pretty even balanced game, but always an exciting game to watch. But the truth remains, I think they look more like their project has advanced more than our project so far. It remains to be seen what happens. But we'll see what happens. It's played. The game is played for 90 minutes, and after 90 minutes, we'll see who comes on top. But it's not going to be an easy game. Hello, coach. Hello to you too, Gitanga David. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join on the show. Now let's look at head to head. Head to head again. They've won 12. Again, that's one. They're topping us with a single win, and again, they've won 12. Again, we drew 12 with them. Again, like I said, it's not going to be an easy game. Yes, it's been our games with them has been pretty tight of late. Again, it was tight under Thomas Tuchel. It was also tight. It was tight on the even under Antonio Conte, except for one game where we beat them. Was it 4-0 or so? But again, yeah, it's going to be a tight one. Ronaldo is not playing versus Chelsea. To me, if you ask me, I'd say he wasn't going to make a difference anyway. It wasn't going to make a difference in the sense that you could say the reason he was dropped in the first place was that, again, he wasn't in great form. He wasn't, again, he's a fine player, but overall, he's been rather problematic for Manchester United. It's been more of a problem than a solution. And again, you can see they've done better in his absence, and we've seen that happen before. Yep. So I'm glad, as much as I'm glad that he's not playing, that's one less problem to deal with. He's not going to play, so to speak. I still think, yeah, it doesn't make any difference. To me, again, if he's not playing, which means I hope the charity FC factor doesn't kick in, which you could say not taking teams seriously because we think they're depleted due to injuries and all that. I'm doing a great, coach. Again, good to see you. It's good to be here. Thank you so much. I appreciate, again, the fact that you enjoy being here. Big up to you too, again, Chelsea OG. I hope you're doing well. So again, if you look at, let's look at the other previous games. This is how many games now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. And in those 8 games, you can say they've won 1, 2, 3. They won this one. That's 1, 2, 3. So there was a time they beat us 3 games in a row, actually. Wow. And yeah, just 3 of them. And then we've won 1. Wow. Just like one time in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So again, it's not a good record, but it will most definitely be an interesting game. This one says, yeah, I think this should be the top scorers. Raheem Sterling with 3 goals. Marcus Rashford. I didn't know Rashford was the top goal scorer at this point. I didn't know that, actually. But again, quite a few misses of late from him. I hope that continues. This is not me wishing him bad luck, but really, it is bad luck indeed. I hope he doesn't do well against us. He's always again, he's one of those players, when they play against us, it just seems as if we see the best of them. He's that type of player. Big up again. Yep, I'll say hello to you again. Kuchila, the guy we should be careful is Anthony Santos. Again, Koulibaly, we should be able to handle him on the left-hand side. Again, the most concerning thing about facing Anthony is that, again, you know exactly what he's going to do, but stopping him becomes an issue because he does well. The slightest of chances he gets, usually the signature, again, his signature approach of cutting back in from the right-hand side and taking a well you could say, finesse a shot with his left foot. I think we already know he's going to do that, and teams know he loves to do that. But still, it's difficult to stop him from doing it because usually uh, it's unpredictable. Again, sometimes when you think he'd do it, he passes the ball to his teammate. Just 1 second, let me take a sip of my coffee so I don't lose my voice. We will get into the player rating as soon as possible because I'd like us to end this show very soon. We want it to be, again, at least 1 hour, at most 1 hour, 30 minutes. Again, I will only go beyond that when it's the transfer window is open, when it's quite a lot to talk about. Yep, thank you very much. So, yeah, if you have anything to say about this, again, the game tomorrow, say it in the chat, and I'd be glad to look at it. Again, now that I have much time on my hand, again, in a bit, let's say into the 20, 30 hour mark into the show, again, I will start reading what's in the comments, and we will go into the lineup building. Here we have, again, our head-to-head, again, with United, especially in the league, isn't so good. Yep, it's been poor. But you could say not really, not that bad of late. It's been more of a draw. First we beat them. Where's that? Again, where is it? We beat them 3-1 in 2020, 3-1 at home. I think I remember that game. FA Cup, you could say two howlers from that was under Frank Lampard. Two howlers are from David De Gea, and then 0-0, 1-1 draw, 1-1 draw. Yeah, again, it's been pretty tight, and I sense it's going to be that tomorrow. Except, here's the thing. One thing that comes to mind is the high line they play under Eric Ten Hag. If we can exploit that and take our chances when they come and not be wasteful in front of goal, I think it would be a good day for us. However, again, good luck holding your breath, believing that we'll take our chances when we when it comes. But that's by the way. Anyway, again, head to head. Yep, that's very correct. Chelsea win a 3-0. Yeah, I don't think that will happen. Can we win? Yeah, we can win, but I don't think it beat a 3-0. We've looked shaky again. You can say, let me just put it this way: our defense has been exposed of late, and that isn't because again we have bad defenders, but it comes down to the fact again they're not well screened, they're not well protected. So the opposition players they've had opportunities to come at our defense again more often than they should. So they get exposed. So yeah, again, it's not going to be. I think I have a feeling there will be goals from both teams. And do I think we can win it? We can win it. But again, I'm going to repeat myself. Winning it means again taking our chances when we get it. When the chances come, we must put them away. Because you could say, although the numbers and the insight, I would say is again they're ninth in terms of goals scored, 1.5 something around. Let me look at that number to be not just a throw the numbers. So yeah, 1.5 goals per game. Same thing as United. Again, ninth on goals scored. So you could say both teams aren't that clinical in front of goal, but it looks like I believe we've created more chances than them. Actually, I don't have the numbers, but I'm not going to just jump to that conclusion. So my point being, again, it could be tight, but I see it being a more of an you can say end-to-end game. Yeah, because they play with a high octane football under Eric Ten Hag. Like again, the lines there. Again, the high line there will be there again. Will give us an opportunity to expose them again, to make the most, to exploit those high line again that they play. Lots of spaces, by the way, but they press and they press aggressively. It remains to be seen whether we're going to be able to deal with that in terms of the midfield area. But if you're in if you're in the chat, let me know what you think Chelsea should do again to come out on top tomorrow. For me, again, balance is key. Balance will be key in the sense, again, we're playing again a very potent attack. Yes, they haven't scored that too many goals, but they're very potent. Rashford, in terms of, again, the pace they have, the finishing ability they have, because on their day, like I said, give them half a chance and they will score a goal, especially Anthony. Rashford, even on his worst day, even if he's in a worst form of his life, once it's against Chelsea Football Club, you see him again, show that the best form he's shown throughout the season. So I would say again, we must, find a balance between attacking and also being defensively cautious, not for them not to hit us on the break because they can counter at a blistering pace. So if we're not careful, we'll be exposed. And by the time we know it, again, they have a player facing our goalkeeper. And believe me, they put those chances away. So that makes it even more difficult, to say again, this is the formation we think Graham Potter will deploy, or formation A or B. The truth remains, I think he'd be confident of feeling like, given again, there's a lot of space to exploit when you play against Manchester United. I think he may be tempted to just be focused on attacking and getting goals, or exploiting those spaces and not pay attention to the defensive aspect of the whole thing. But there's a chance also he'd be focused on, again, he'd be deploying a structure like a four at the back, a structure, a hybrid approach, where again he'd have two players, again, one of the center halves with one of the full backs or wing backs, doubling up again on the Manchester United attacking player. You could say defensively, that makes it easier to defend against again a very pacey attack such as that of Manchester United. Let's see what we have here again. A Chelsea win 3-0. That will happen again. The match couldn't come at a better time with the points separating the two teams, and Chelsea again in top four. Yep. Again, I think it's important that we actually look where again both teams are on the table. I think it makes sense. Let me see what you have here again. Let's see again. If our midfield is perfect, we're good to go. If not, we're in trouble. Again, we need to watch that midfield. They have you can say, again, Fred isn't the most physical, but again, you can say Casemiro also is physical too. Plus, he's got some experience. He can shoot from outside the box. And I've seen a whole lot of spaces. Again, in front of you can say, our defense that other teams could have exploited to do some damage against us. And in the case of Casemiro, again, I think he'd exploit that. He's experienced enough. He's played at the very highest level and is capable of taking some delicious shot from outside the box. Well placed. And if you look at one of the shots he took against Tottenham, I thought he was going in. And again, what's his name? The French international goalkeeper, he was rooted and couldn't do anything about it. If Jorginho doesn't play, then we could win. That's how you see it. But if Jorginho doesn't play, how bad? We will not be able to play. It's as simple as that. Again, Jorginho is all we have at this moment who is capable of helping us, again, apply ourselves. Without him playing, we seem to find it difficult to have a coordinated display on the day. And the good thing is that he's different on the Graham Potter. He's applied himself differently, more vertical passes from the teams overall, especially him. Again, you can say he's ranked atop in that aspect of the game since Graham Potter became our manager. Because he might make a mistake like last match. I don't think that repeats. He's experienced enough not to risk that. Starts Zakaria, well, it's up to the manager, but it's not really looking good for Zakaria. And if he starts, I'll be surprised. Counter-attacks should be, I don't know. Again, we need to be cautious against them, especially again on the counter. That's why I say we have to employ, again, a cautious approach as we attack. We also have to be defensively cautious. Good afternoon, Coach. Again, Iron Crew. My problem is that we don't take our chances in terms of goal scoring. Again, our defense is a little bit shaky. And to me, that comes down to lack of proper protection from the midfield. And remember, I told you this again. We played a more potent team, if I'm allowed to use that language, you could say clinical team in the last two games, would be talking about a loss at this point. Our team, again, needs to be disciplined and make sure we don't lose the midfield. It remains to be seen what Potter does. Start Broya, the team that wants it more takes all 3 points. Let's hope, again, Chelsea would be up. Again, thank you very much for all that. I hope you're all doing well, and good morning to you. Again, I definitely meet up my Nigeria brother. Nice to see you. And Lee, good morning to you, Lee. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. IBZ, how are you doing, brother?
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, bro. I can't complain. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the panel. I appreciate it. That means a lot to me.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I want to show you what we have here in terms of, again, you could say a given current form. We're pretty even. Not even, again, it doesn't even differ. They want, again, they won 1, 2, 3, 4 games. We won 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Drew one, and the one they drew, again, 0-0. You can say we drew our last game. They drew the one before their win against Tottenham. And let's see again what else here. What interests us? How many goals did we score in total like that at these 5 games? Six, 8 goals, and they scored five. Wait a second, they scored, yep, five, 6 and 8 goals. So two, we scored two more goals, and again, pretty even there. And the head-to-head says again they've won 12 and we've won 11. We've drawn 12. So, but let's look at the stats here again. The insight, which says we're ranked ninth in terms of goals scored. They ranked ninth too. That's pretty even there. Again, 1.5 goals per game, same thing as them. Again, Chelsea haven't lost to Manchester United in their last 4 meetings. 1 win, 4 draws, so not really a good record, really. Again, ranked again ninth in goals scored, the same thing as us. Ranked a third away from home, and for us, we're ranked. Where's that one? Second away from home, so we've done better away than they did. Again, ranked a third. You were saying that haven't lost in 5 matches, but we haven't lost in how many matches again? I think 6 matches in total or 7 in total. So your thoughts, does anything, again, anything, do you read anything into some of these insights here or not?
We haven't lot. Yeah, the 5 meetings. It's kind of one that sticks out for me.
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw we haven't won in 9 meetings. I think it was yesterday I saw we haven't won in 9 meetings against United. But yeah, even still, um, this that stat is a bit worrying. I don't know how it's going to go, to be very honest with you. It's a home game, so you expect a bit of a better performances.
Mm-hmm.
But Manchester United they're our biggest rival in terms of where we want to achieve, in terms
Yeah.
of that top 4 spot. So they're obviously going to come with a game plan. Ten Hag is doing okay with the Manchester United. It's gonna be a tough one. So we will need to be on our game, and we will need to take our chances, and we will need to be defensively sound. Um, it's a big one. It could go either way. It could be a loss or
Yeah.
it could be a win. It
Mm-hmm.
could be also be a draw. But we'll see what happens. I just hope that we'll be able to be tactically sound.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the game will be won in midfield. So it's there. I hope that we'll be able to have more of a control.
Yeah,
Um,
most likely, if you look at, let's look at their last game. If you look at the pairing of Fred and the Casemiro, I think you could say that's the best, again, pairing in terms of the 2 6s approach, or whether you call them two central midfielders approach. And the record for the Brazil shows how strong and how, again, how tight they are and how well they can do in terms of protecting the back line. Like I've argued before, I think, again, even what's his name, Maguire would look like prime John Terry when those two are on the pitch. Of all the games they've played, I think how many games in total, I don't have it off my head, that they've played for Brazil, they've lost just once. So, and I'm not
yeah,
sure, again, you could say two of them are more physical than any
yeah,
of the players, again, we have that can
exactly.
play in that midfield area, except for Loftus-Cheek, he can match them, again, in terms of physicality, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's, again, if he'd be able to read the game in terms of stopping them from playing their game. What do you think? How do we deal with those two players?
It's a hard one. We're talking
Mm-hmm.
about Casemiro and Fred in the midfield. Um, Against our midfield, um, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic, it will be a battle. I'll put it
It
like it
will
will be a
be.
battle.
Mm-hmm.
But there's those two partners. They're probably in sync. Brazilian, they play for the national team, and they play for
Mm-hmm.
their club.
Mm-hmm.
So they are all in sync, so to speak. So it's a tricky one there. If they can control that midfield, it will be very hard for us to penetrate that. Because if Fred does all the dirty work in terms of his running and Casemiro just sits and just cleans up, it will be hard. I want to know how those balls will get through those two. But again, it's a home game. I know that we will match the energy. We'll match the crowd's energy. It's a big game. Call it
Mm-hmm.
a rival game in its respect. So I'm expecting a good performance. I am expecting a good performance because we have to we have to match the agenda. But it's a tricky one again.
It is a tricky one and an important one for both teams. We just won 1 point both them, and we played 10 games each. You see that again? I think, but we have goal again, and we have more goals than them.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that will help us again. But if they win, if it ends in a draw, again, we're still good. But I think we need to win to
We
further
need to
again
win.
move away from them.
I need a win. I need a win. Especially
Yeah,
after the draw, I need a win. But
yeah.
I don't want to. The season's up and running, and I still want to stick to my mandate of
Mm-hmm.
lowering expectations. Albeit we've done well under Potter, and I think it's credit to Potter than it is to the squad. I'm not taking away from their abilities to do well under Potter, but I feel Potter's allowed the players to get these results. And when we come up against a squad that's probably better than our own, you can argue it will be
Mm-hmm.
hard to still expect a Manchester City 6-0, 6. You know what I mean? Like that type of a
Mm-hmm.
performance against the Manchester United. I don't see that. I'm just going to be very honest with myself, and I say I don't see us scoring 3 past Manchester United. If we do that, that is wow. Potter's done it.
Except maybe if Maguire started. But here's the thing: even if Maguire started and they have a Fred and
Unless they get a
Casemiro on
red
the,
card. Unless they get
yeah,
a red card, I don't see us. I don't see us Chelsea 6, Manchester United 1, or something. I like how we. This is the same team that beat Liverpool on their day. They've beaten Arsenal, beaten Tottenham. Obviously, these are home games they've won, but same
mm-hmm.
way they've come against the big and they've played well. So we need to match that energy and hopefully come away with a win. Hopefully.
Yeah, and I'm saying again, if even if they have Maguire on the pitch, Fred and Casemiro would do a good enough job to make him look good. Just like I think, yeah, Ndidi was one of those guys that made him look good at what's it called? So Leicester City. So you see the two of them. See they're written here 8.7 and 8.3. Nobody else on the pitch came close to them except for the goal again. Because he scored one of the goals. Again, he scored one of the goals, so he's 9.2. But look at Casemiro's rating. You see that again, and I think you can see how they value. Again, he's become so important to them. They had to take him off on the 87 minutes, just 3 minutes to go, probably not to avoid injury. Let's look at their numbers. These two again, that combo there, respect them. They screened these two guys. Even again, you could see before the arrival of Casemiro. Varane wasn't at his best at United. He wasn't. But you see, whenever Varane is on the pitch, you could say some people will come out and argue it's because they played it together before. They've won so much together before. But
Yeah,
I
let's
just
just
say,
call it a spade. Let's just call a spade a spade.
mm-hmm.
Varane, Fred, and Casemiro is good chemistry.
Yeah,
Casemiro
they are.
playing with Fred is Brazilian. They know each other from the national team. It
Mm-hmm.
works well in that midfield pairing.
Mm-hmm.
Varane seeing Casemiro in front of him in the midfield gives him flashbacks to 2019-20, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was. We won
Go ahead.
Champions League together. We won La Liga together. We've been there for years together. So he understands Casemiro. So this is just, it just links him well. It fits him well with a system that Ten Hag is playing. the cohesion they're bringing together, it's a win-win. Now we have to identify that and shut that down, and that's a big task. Forget what our previous results have been. This is the biggest match so far, maybe bar Milan. This is Potter's biggest match.
It is indeed. It is indeed. This is a much more difficult, test because this guy, you could say they have a better team than Milan. Let's look at their numbers because I didn't watch the game. I had to take my time to watch it later because I went on a channel against Sophia's channel to talk about Manchester United, the importance. Again, no, I think it was on my channel on the soccer perspective. We talked about Casemiro, and I told her, look, again, I think it was Jessica, a friend also who was on the panel then, that talked about the importance of Casemiro and his record with Fred. And I told, again, Sophia, look, these two, they would change a lot at Manchester United. That's you can say that's probably the missing piece. All the problems, I think Casemiro will end up being a better signing for them than was De Jong would have been. De Jong, yes, because it's younger, probably a long-term project, but this solves an immediate problem for them, and probably will still solve them more for a long time. Let's look at their numbers so we see how well, again, he did. Minutes played, 87 minutes. Again, accurate passes, 49 of 58, 84, that's not bad. Chances created, even though he placed it, he created 2 chances. Expected goals, and he's a good passer of the ball too. Let me see anything else. Again, shot accuracy, 0.02. He wasn't on target, but seriously, the one I saw, the French international goalkeeper, what's his name again, was rooted and couldn't have done anything had he been on target. Successful dribbles, 1 out of 1. Passes into the final third, 8. That's fine. Accurate crosses, 0.1. Again, 0 out of 1 attempt. Accurate long balls, 3 out of 4, 75%. Tackles 1, 4 out of 4. Clearances 1. So these are good numbers overall. Again, ground duels 1, 6 out of 11. That's not bad. Aerial duels 1, 1 out of 1. And for Fred himself, let's see what we have there quickly. Expected goals 0.36. That's a bit high, really. 78% pass accuracy. Again, let me see. I'm not looking at the final shot accuracy. 2 out of 3 tried. That's not bad. 67%. Block shots 3. Touches 78. Successful dribbles 1 out of 2. Passes into the final third 7. That's high too. Accurate crosses 1 out of 1. Accurate long balls 3 out of 7. He's poor in that aspect. Again, defensively, 1 out of 1. Tackles 1. Clearances 1. Interceptions 2. Recoveries 7. Dribbled pass twice. Again, ground duels 1. 4 out of 9. 44%. That's a bit poor, but close to half. 50% was fouled to us. So again, the numbers defensively can say are good. And again, they make them better. And if you watch that game, when Roger told me they were winning, how good they were, I said, did Casemiro and Fred start together? And he said, yes. I said, yeah, I expected that to happen. Pick up again, Chelsea OG. Again, I hope you're doing well, brother. Casemiro will play for sure. Or if he doesn't play, then you can say we've won that game. I hope Eriksen starts. I think Eriksen and Fred isn't really a good combo, but I think Ten Hag, again, he must have learned that by now. I don't think they will both start. It's 5 years since we last beat them. Really? Is it really? I was looking. No, I don't think it was. I was looking at it. I don't think it's been 5 years. Beat them at home. Is that what you're saying? Is that the record you're looking at? Again, just give me 1 second. Let me look at this. I don't think it's been that long, really. Find our game at 9:30 a.m. for me tomorrow. Okay, let's see. What's that record here? We beat them. Wow. That's 2020. Okay. 1, 2. Okay, we haven't. Let's see where we beat them. Anything else? Okay, where are all the records? Let me see more of them. The last time we beat them was. Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
So I saw 9. I saw 9 appearances.
Wow, that was in 2017, really.
So you know what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah.
It's not. We should be beating them, or we're gonna beat them. You have to look at the record, mate. It's not. We've drawn or lost. Manchester United is not. You know.
Yeah. And history
not
has
what
a
it was.
record of repeating itself.
Exactly. So what we have to do, we have to be very smart. And now that you could argue their squad is even better than it was.
Wow. This is a serious, really. Again, good morning to you too. I hope you're doing well. And Lee, thank you for that start again. I think it will be a 1-1 draw. Again, it's been too many draws of late. 1-1 draw, 1-1 draw in 2022, 1-1 draw 2021, 0-0 draw in again, and that's 2021. Also, one of the league games, 0-0 draw here, 0-0 draw here, and then
Coach,
the
I'll
last
be
time.
back, bro. Sorry about that.
Okay, all
I'll
right.
be back.
Okay. And then in the FA Cup, we did them 3-1. I think that was the day 2 howlers from David De Gea. This is seriously concerning, really. Wow. But we'll see again. Do you think Pulisic should start? I think he should start. I think he's shown he's in better form than most of our. Again, some of our. You could say Raheem Sterling, who you could say the guy he is vying for places for. You could say in terms of those guys that are able to play the eights or on the flanks as right wing or left wing. I think he's in a better form. He showed. Some argue because he came off the bench and showed energy and all that. I'm not just sure why he didn't start the 2 last games, but I think he starts this one most definitely. If he doesn't, then I'll have Roger tell you what happens if it doesn't. Again, like the video, guys. Matthew Lee, Benjamin, big up, brother. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I hope you're doing well. We'll have 19 likes, guys. We should be doing better than that. So please take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hello to you. If I haven't said hello to you, we normally don't do well versus United, especially you could say, especially at home. The last 2 times we've beaten them was away. Correct me if I'm wrong. This one here, 3-1, and the next time we beat them, where is it again? Oh, at home, 1-0. That's in 2017. Who was that? Then I don't remember. Again, but that's fine. I'm going to come back to the panel. I have my friend and brother on the panel. Roger, how are you doing?
I'm alive, sir. How are you, sir?
I can't complain. Thank you so much for finding the time to join. Your thought, we've looked at the insights. I know usually it doesn't mean anything to you, but I'm sure you did. I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. I recorded that.
No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. You've seen this from here. Where again, the last time we beat was 5 years ago. We haven't beaten them.
But you do.
Head to head right now says again. What is it again? Head to head again. They have 1 over us. One win over us. 12 draws. We've won 11 times. Again, we're ranked 9th in terms of goal scores. Same thing as them. 1.5 goals per game. Chelsea haven't lost to Manchester United in their last 5 meetings. Yeah, but it just doesn't make sense because this to me is nothing because it's just 1 win and 4 draws.
But
and for them, ranked 3rd away, so we've done better than them away. But we're at home. I think they've been poor at home. Actually, they've lost. Have they lost again? How many games? I'm not sure if they lost any game at home this time. But your thoughts on the inside? Does it mean? Do you read anything into any of them?
Yeah,
they haven't lost in 5 games. We haven't lost in 7 games. So on paper, you can say, given recent performance, that we've actually done better than them. But no, look at it here. We've won 1, 2, 3, 4 games, but we scored more goals. We scored 10 goals. I think they scored in total 8, and they have minus. You can say -3 out of the 2 goals they've scored there. 1 draw, 0-0 draw, and also 1 draw, 0-0 draw too. So what do you think?
So I'm looking at those are deceiving statistics with regards to our head-to-head. You look at when we played them at the Bridge last year. We had 24 shots, they had 3. We had 6 shots on target, they had 2. We had 15 corners, they had 2. We dominated the game, 66% possession. We absolutely dominated. But remember, J5 made that error from a corner when he was at the halfway line.
I'd ask you for your ID if you don't mention that.
But it's so pivotal. We absolutely 24 shots to 3. Come on. It's like we were all over them like a bad rash. It's simple.
But we were awful in front of goal.
Yeah, we were not clinical. This is our history. That's our MO. So then you look at when we played Man U at their place, we had 21 shots to their 6. 6 on target, 3 on target. We had 9 corners to their 2. We dominated that game also. We just weren't clinical. We dominated both games. That's what I'm trying to say. Those statistics. Now this is a different proposition because I wish they still had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as their coach because they were not a cohesive team. Now, Ten Hag, he seems to have turned the corner. They look. Yes, I do realize they played a woeful Spurs team, but they looked like a different proposition completely.
Here's the thing, like we said again, were you the one that when you told me the scoreline or who I told them I'm not surprised? Again, what maybe in another game. Here's the thing about any team that Antonio Conte coaches. He doesn't care how badly they play against any team they think they have a stronger squad or again that would do better than them. Again, it's his thing to soak up the pressure and hit that particular team on a break. So I wasn't surprised when I watched the game, but they started well though. The game was pretty much balanced for a while, wasn't it? Because I watched it later and relaxed and watched it knowing this is just me watching the game. They had chances actually. You could say, except for that shot from one shot from Anthony and the one from Casemiro that I said, what's his name, Lloris was rooted. I think during the first 15 to 20, 25 minutes, I think Spurs had the better chances.
Yeah, you probably early on a bit. Yeah, I think it's so. One has to ask the question: was it United that were good, or Spurs that were poor, or a combination of both? I think it's a combination of both. You know,
yeah, but that's by the way, really. How do you think? What do we do to win this game, Roger? What do we have to do?
You know, the game is won and lost in the midfield in most games. That's the engine room of a team.
And that's especially true when you talk about this one in particular.
Exactly. And we have to ask 2 questions. What formation do we use? And also, who starts in midfield? You know, this is the question. If we have Jorginho playing to keep tempo and so forth, will he be overpowered by Casemiro or Fred? Will Ten Hag have identified him, J5, as a weak point and let's press him? It depends on what they use and how they identify our weak points. You know, I think I'm a little bit more pessimistic or a little bit more dubious because of the fact that Ten Hag has changed that team around. He really has.
He has, and so quick again. But again, I think we'll be a much different. As much as they are, again, you could say a much bigger test for Graham Potter. We are also a much different test for them.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
I saw United play Arsenal. Even though I thought Arsenal were the better team, United still beat them. You know, that was an impressive game. Yes, it was at Old Trafford. And yes, they've beaten Spurs at Old Trafford. And who else? Liverpool. I believe they've beaten Liverpool. But that's when Liverpool were banged up and playing poorly. But they've had some impressive results this year. This is undeniable, regardless of location and opposition. They look a different proposition altogether. I think it's going to be not as easy as it was last year, where we absolutely dominated both games.
They're much more stronger team this season.
They're more disciplined.
More disciplined, but at the same time, you still see spaces. But good luck exploiting those spaces because their pressing is just brilliant.
Yes, they have tremendous energy up front. Rashford, he's a different player completely from where he was last year. You know, he has speed, has endurance, he's clinical. He's a good player. He's a very good player. Yeah, he could present us problems. Sancho also, you know, they have good players, no doubt about it. Which is even more shocking for the last 3 years. When you look at their squad, they should have done much better than their results dictated. They really
Yeah.
underperformed. So
Yeah, the pressing and the energy we see on the pitch whenever they play, and the pace at which they play, you can say gives me that Ajax vibes. And no surprise,
yeah,
it's Eric Ten Hag, so it's his thing. Pressing is his thing, and like he said openly when he come, we want to press and press and press and all that. Santiago Muno, again, our big up brother. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Dang, 15 corners, that's mad. Yeah, and we still didn't win that game that day. We should have won, but again, our finishing was a poor on that day. The fact, again, is Manchester United have not faced a side like ours again since the season starts. You could say Arsenal, given how well they've done so far this season, you could say they're much better side than us until proven otherwise. So they faced a team that actually you could say quicker than we are in the way we attack, because Arsenal they play with the same pace. You can say literally the same pace as Manchester United and have fine finishes on their side. The team are just normally dominating games, but we looked so scared to shoot again at goal. Yeah, you know why that is. Big up my brother here on the panel with us. Quickly, let me see. And I want to say, it says we just need, I got 100% out of every player tomorrow. I believe Jeff 5 will start. I think he will start. I don't think this team will be able to function without him. If that happens, I take it. Again, if we're able to function without him and bring a player who's able to help us coordinate our play and at the same time do, again, a good job defensively, I take it seriously. Big up to the queen of the house, Jos Viola. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us. I sincerely do appreciate that. And here we have, again, hi, everyone in the chat. Hi to you, too. Again, I hope Maguire starts tomorrow. Here's the thing. Even if Maguire starts with Fred and, what's his name, and Casemiro on the pitch, he'd be better screened. You won't even notice it's that bad. You won't get a chance to get at him that much to expose him. Again, let's see. They should start the GOAT, Maguire. Believe me, he will not make that much mistake. Again, that's by the way, again, good morning to you also, Lee. Again, coming back to the panel, Tobago, your thoughts on the statistics we looked at, insights maybe. I'm sure you've seen it yourself. And the fact we haven't beaten them for 5 years, in 5 years as highlighted by Lee, to me, it's a bit concerning, but maybe you can say a change in manager changes everything. What do we call it again? The new manager bounce.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Big up, guys. I hope you're good.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, in order to
thank
win
you.
this
Thank you for showing your ID. That's you. Go ahead.
Yeah, to be honest, in order to win this game, we need to be clinical when we get our chances. That's the issue at the moment, because I know we won't create plenty of chances every game, but as soon as we create chances, we should take them. That's the issue at the moment. And then sometimes we're gonna blame the manager, but again, we still have the same players under Thomas Tuchel. As soon as we get new players that can score goals for us, then maybe things will change. And also, as you mentioned, Jorginho, I feel like this game is a kind of Jorginho game where I know position sometimes is overrated and stuff, but like, in order to frustrate them, not that to hit us with counterattacks, we need a guy like Jorginho just to control the game, to frustrate him. And then maybe when we get our chances, we beat Clinical. So hopefully when we play tomorrow, we beat Clinical, we beat them. But again, it won't be easy because they won against Spurs. But I don't care about Spurs, because Spurs, when they play to big teams, they struggle. So hopefully tomorrow the guys will show up, and also they must play their role, because all the time I know the managers will tell the players you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order to win this game. So hopefully they'll play their role, they'll listen to the manager, and then we win this game. I don't want to do a lot of things like back passes and stuff. But again, as I said,
it must happen.
Clinically win this game. I'll be happy.
We have to be clinical, and at the same time, again, we have to defend very well. We have to protect our defense, because here's the thing, again, go rewatch the two games. Oh, my brother Jose CFC, again, a big up, bro. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Please do let me know that you're doing well. I saw your comments. It looks like I skipped it by mistake. Oh, sorry. Apologies. He says, big up, bro. Big up to you too, brother. Again, I'm so sorry. Again, I knew I saw your message, but somehow skipped it. But again, welcome to the show, bro. It's been a while. Please do let me know you're doing well. I haven't heard from you for a while now. Here's the thing, Tobago. If you watch the two previous games, where you can say where we struggled defensively, it tells you if they get a chance. This is a much more clinical team. You can say yes, they haven't scored that much, but even again, they don't even need to get into the box to score. They don't need to. They have Bruno Hernandez. Is it Hernandez, right? Not Fernandez. Bruno Hernandez. They have Anthony, the signature, cut back in from the right-hand side and finesse the ball to the other angle to the next bar. And they also have Casemiro, who's a fine shooter on his stay. I don't know if you saw the one where Hugo Lloris, he was rooted, and it wasn't far from the goalpost. Same thing as Anthony, his signature again move, cut back in from the right-hand side and take a shot from his left. He did it against Sports, and it clicked against the goalpost, the other angle. And Lloris, you could say, even though he dived, again, you could say wouldn't have done much to stop it. Now, again, we see a lot of that space. I did see a lot of that space against Aston Villa and against Brighton. But you can say, Brentford. But you can say Brentford's approach mainly is putting the ball into the box for Tone and the other guy. Again, they are muscle opponents and get a chance to score. But this is United. If you think you're covering for the again, you wait for them to put in the ball inside the box, or cap crosses or on the air from the flanks. They just switch it to the players in the central area. Casemiro can shoot. Fernandes can shoot. Plus Anthony also can shoot with his signature move. So again, and Jorginho, that's one of his weaknesses actually, being able to read the game and not just be dragged into the box and forget about the man. That is especially the 2 6s for Man United. Fred also can shoot from outside the 18. Fred and Casemiro, who would be there and intentionally standing a bit behind, waiting for the ball to come in. So again, that's why Roger said it very correctly. It's a game that will be won in the midfield. So again, my overall point is that we have to be cautious. We have to pay attention to that spaces. They can shoot quite well, and their shots they're not going to be shooting direct at the goalkeeper. It will be put at angles where Kepa has to be at his best to stop them. But that's, by the way, I'm going to go to my brother and friend again, Eddie Love for Blue. Eddie, how are you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. Good morning. Hi, panelists. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, good morning to you too. Again, I think everyone is on the panel. Yeah, they said hello to you. Again, and if you're watching, if you haven't, please do take a second to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, let's take it to 50 likes as soon as possible. Eddie, how do we win this game? How do we approach this game, to come out on top at the end of the day? And sorry, guys, we're not going to do at the same time. We're not going to do the predicted lineup at the same time. I think we need to break up the show. Again, the predicted lineup will be tomorrow, not today. That will be the Blue Money show for tomorrow. Go ahead, Eddie. How do we win this game? And if you're in the chat, I want to get your opinion on what you think we must do to win this game.
The simplest thing to do to win this game is to take our chances to score. It's just as simple as that. We can't afford to create chances and not take our chances in this game. These are not the games where we create so many chances and not take them. Because we're not going to have many chances against United. They're playing very well at the minute. The manager has a settled team. He has a settled team, making them to play very well the way he wants. He's implementing his own style of play, and they are getting on board with what he wants from them. They press very well. So, as alluded by Roger, it's going to be one in the midfield. We need our midfield to be very solid. And then if you see the way they play, Anthony is a threat. And I believe, Ronaldo is not going to be there. So obviously we see the same lineup that played against Tottenham, most likely. He has a stable team now. And with him, I think we don't have a stable team. We can't even The good thing that might work for us is that United won't be able to plan expecting, knowing what lineup they're going to face. That's the only thing. Potter is going to confuse them. They won't be able to know. Unlike when it was Tuchel, they'll be able to know exactly man for man who are they going to play against. But for Potter, they will not be able to guess his lineup. That's the only thing that will help us going into this match. But another thing is, if we don't take our chances, as I said, that's the only downfall for us. And
how about
balance?
Eddie, you seem to just focus on us, taking our chances. How about if we take our chances and we don't do our work defensively? Because we had chances against Aston Villa. We had a lot of them against Aston Villa. I think, I'm not sure how many, not too many maybe, but we had chances again enough to score goals and win. We had chances also against Brentford, and they had chances too, even more chances than we did, and more corner kicks than we did. So if we focus only on scoring goals, I think they are capable of outscoring us. So we must approach that game with balance. What do you think?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that we cannot afford to be chasing this game. If we went to go, if say it ended up being 1 goal down, 2 goals down against Man United, it's a mountain to climb. So that's what I say. What we need to do, if we create chances the way we do, and they come, we should be able to bury those chances. And then it gives the team. If you watch, anytime we lead the game, even against Villa, not until we got the second goal, it calmed nerves, and they were able to implement. We played very well from there. So, but if we don't take these chances, we give United that impetus, that opening to come towards us, to attack us and believe, because they know they've got good record against us at Stamford Bridge in the last few years.
Hello?
Yes, and get the result.
If connection issue. But go ahead, we can hear you now. No, go ahead, Eddie.
So they think they can come over. Okay, they think they can come over now and even beat us at home. That's the confidence they have now. So we have to just make sure we take our chances and then settle on the nerves of our defenders, and then we're able to play our game, especially in midfield. Because when we allow them to come to us and we don't take our chances, what I think, as I was saying before, I said, Broya, I think, should start this game. Reason being, Broya is a physical type of player. And Lisandro Martinez doesn't like the physical players against him because he's not the tallest. So if we want to play, I don't think Sterling should start this game, personally. I think it should be Broya and Aubameyang and then Mount to start with, to press, make Martinez uncomfortable. Then that midfield is key. We don't know what.
Yeah, go ahead, Eddie. When you're done, I think I have a follow-up question, and I want to ask again, Tobago and Roger that same question regarding. But go ahead when you're done. Once you're done with the point you're making.
Yeah, and then the midfield, we don't know what I will go with in the midfield. But I don't see this game being a Jorginho type of game. Even though we might look at it, Jorginho will help us to create, help us to link. But at the same time, Jorginho is susceptible to mistake as well. So we have to get that balance right in midfield. Solidity in that midfield is only unfortunate we're missing Reece James. I would have said Loftus-Cheek in the middle, maybe alongside Kovacic. But who is going to play? If he's going to go back three, who is going to play the right wing back? He's going to deploy Ruben Loftus-Cheek as the right wing back. Except if he wants to go to back four, kind of maybe play. I don't know. I don't know what way he's going to play that now. Play Koulibaly and Silva in the middle, and then maybe play Chalobah right back, and then whoever Ben Chilwell or we don't know what is good. That's the problem. So that's what United will be faced with. They don't know what lineup they're going to face tomorrow. What players they're going to face. They won't be able to second guess that. That's just the only thing going into this game. But we just need to take our chances.
I'm going to say this, Eddie. I think we'll be worse off with a combo of Kovacic and Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the absence of Jorginho, honestly. Would be worse off. Here's the thing, again, no matter how we see it, as much as, again, just quickly before I continue, just say, my brother, again, I totally understand bills don't pay themselves, and thank you for finding the time to join today. Here's the thing I want to say here. Again, as much as we know, we're well acquainted with Jorginho's deficiencies. Of all those for him, Kovacic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who else is there that can start centrally too? Who else can start in that area? I think you could say he's, again, the best in terms of reading the game and being at the right place at the right time. His deficiencies mainly are lack of pace, where even when he knows what to do, it takes him like 5 years to get to the player, to stop them. Or again, he can run again and then catch up with the player who's headed towards our goalpost, even though he knows he can read it. But in most cases, it's actually in the right place at the right time to stop the ball. So to me, my argument would be worse off without Jorginho on the pitch. As much as we're well acquainted with his weaknesses, I don't think we should risk it. Roger, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you, but you also missed height and upper body strength.
Can I say that Jorginho actually has a good leap on him?
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying compared to like a Ruben, this is all I'm comparing him to.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a combo of Ruben and Jorginho, but I'd rather, again, I don't want, again, as much as you'd see a very, very delicious play to watch with Ruben and Kovacic, but even at that, actually, Kovacic does have a more complete. Go ahead.
I was just comparing, Coach. That's all I was saying.
I know.
I was being a little bit, facetious. So here's, you said how could we combat that? There's two ways of doing this. You're saying that who do we put in there? We have a choice of playing three in midfield. Okay.
So you think playing three players in the midfield will suffice?
Well, it's possible. We could either play a 4-3-3 or we play a 3-5-2. Or if he wants to be really ultra aggressive, if he identifies Man United's weakness, we could do a 4-2-3-1. But then we are vulnerable at the back. Maybe he wants to go for the knockout punch early. But conversely, I think a 3-5-2. If you have Broja and Aubameyang or whoever up front as the two number 9s, that's the way to go. You can have Sterling, just like the very first game he played. Sterling as a left right back. Sorry, as a left back. That's one option. In that 3-5-2, exactly what he did was it Salzburg? I can't remember our first game. It was in the Champions League anyway. You can take that approach where you can have an actual Jorginho, you can have a Kovacic, and let's say a Ruben in there, hypothetically, or whichever.
Do you understand my reason against saying Jorginho is important for us in this game? Otherwise, we're not going to be able to do anything.
Yes, I do. I'm not arguing that. I believe he does have, obviously, he has contributing factors, positive, of course. His passing, his tempo, he's our poor man's Pirlo. I've told you that. Yes, he does. We're different without him. But having said that, conversely, we also, with that positivity, brings negativity, unfortunately. But you're right. If I'm the coach, I would start him, but with hopefully a 3 in the midfield because of Casemiro and Fred's physicality and Casemiro's experience and knowing how to read the game. I think he would neutralize him. So if we have 3 in midfield, we could counter that, or go all out and play a 4-2-3-1 and try to destroy them. But we're not clinical. This is our MO for not just a couple of games, for years now. We're just not clinical. So I would prefer to go with a 3-5-2. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, let's see. Again, I'll come to AD because he mentioned the importance of midfield too. But I want Tobago to tell us again, how do we... but you're saying your solution is to play a 3-man midfield. And just to show you this quickly, I think Tottenham did the same, but yet you could say they outplayed them in the midfield area, really. West Ham United game, let's look at it. There you go, them here. Where are the games? Here. Yeah, Tottenham tried to overload the midfield area. You see that?
They were so passive, Coach. I watched the game. They were horrible, though.
Yeah, even with the energy. I'm just showing you probably... Yeah. Because of the quality of these two guys, Fred and Casemiro, they weren't able to do anything. They didn't allow them to do anything. They outplayed them outright. Again, Bissouma was, to me, again, he seemed a bit confused at times, but I'm not sure. But that's by the way, again, but you make a good point. A 3 in the midfield, given the quality we have, I think we should be able to deal with them. 3 that includes Loftus-Cheek with his physicality. This is my first time actually saying, okay, I want him to play centrally. because I think he does better for us on the flanks. Again, but that's, by the way, Tobago, your choice on how we can deal with Fred, because like Roger said before, this is a game that you can say you win in the midfield. You go ahead. I want to get your thoughts. I'll be back in just a minute, less than a minute. Just let me take care of something. I'm sweating here.
Okay, no problem. To be honest, from my side, if it's possible to risk Zakaria, I'll play Zakaria this game in order to look at the for example, if you play Jorginho and Kovacic, who's going to mark Bruno Fernandes? That's the issue I'm having at the moment, because Bruno Fernandes, as Manchester United, is having a free role and is doing many things, assists and goals. So with Jorginho and Kovacic and Loftus-Cheek, who's going to mark him? That's the issue I'm having at the moment. But again, I don't want to mention Zakaria a lot. So in order to win this game, as you said it, Roger, I mean, you have to play 3-5-2. Yes. And then that three midfielder, you have to be Jorginho, Kovacic, and Mount.
Sure. I like that.
For me. Yeah. And then on the wing backs, I'm gonna play Raheem Sterling and Azpilicueta. Unfortunately, you have to play Azpilicueta because there is James. Yes. Yeah. And then, as you said,
who's your one
up front? To be honest, as you said, I don't want to see Kai Havertz starting this game. So I would love to see Aubameyang with Broja. But again, you know, the coaches sometimes they like to play a lot of attacking players. So if it's not Broja, let's give Pulisic a run.
Sure.
Just to play.
Yeah. No, not give him a run. I think he should start actually, but we'll get to that in a bit. Yeah. Let me catch up. Go ahead if you're still talking. I wanted to catch up with the chat.
No problem, coach.
Okay. Again, if you're watching, again, we have 31 likes. Let's try to get it to 50 likes as soon as possible. If you haven't, please do take a second to like the video. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you for all the support. Here's Lee. Here's my, again, I think in this your lineup, I think either no Loftus-Cheek there. You don't want Roger to see that. But from what I'm seeing already, I don't think Cesar Azpilicueta and Chile start. Either of the two would drop to the bench. Most likely Cesar Azpilicueta. I think. I'm not sure. Again, that's just me. Big up, bro. Big up to you too, Alfred Bangura. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Let me see anything else to read here. Uzbek, I'm not sure what this brother is trying to say here. I'm from Uzbekistan. Oh, okay. Welcome. Nadil 2008B. Again, welcome to the show. I hope you're doing well. I hope your people in Uzbekistan are all doing well. So thank you for joining the show. Let me see anything else to address here. I think we should start with the back four of Chilwell, Silva, Chalobah, Koulibaly, and Aspi. Here's what I think. I think Porter will structure the team in a manner that, again, he'd be able to still, again, to apply a hybrid approach of switching to back three to back four. I think that will, again, start to Manchester United to, again, a certain extent, if you want to say that. Again, what must Chelsea do to beat United? Simply score more goals. It sounds simple, but are we that clinical in front of goal? Again, please subscribe to the channel and like the stream if you haven't. 33 likes. Let's try to get it to 50 as soon as possible. I don't think there's anything else to address here. Let me see just quickly. Again, if I don't read your comments, I will be, highlighting them as I scroll down. Again, we have no one to start in the right wing back position. Ruben Loftus-Cheek can do that. Peace and blessings again, Grandmaster Coach. Again, thank you so much. Please, no start for Havertz tomorrow. I don't think he starts. If he starts, I'd be surprised. Then if he starts, maybe you will start asking the question whether Graham Potter talks to Thomas Tuchel, because you'd ask the question, why hasn't Christian Pulisic been starting games too? Why do fans think they know much about formation than the team's coach? Some people do, but that's not the case. We'll talk about it. We're always objective about it, thinking, okay, this will probably be the most likely formation that he will, again, deploy. Again, we're just trying to predict Again, Alba, again, Puli and Starling is what I wanted to see. Such a quick front three. Again, I am not very comfortable with 4 at the back, especially with Jorginho in midfield. I think we've played that before. We played that against Wolves, and it was again the application was just brilliant. It was so fluid. It didn't look as if he made as much as 7 changes on that day. It could be a 4-2-3-2-2-2-2. Wow! Again, talk about being unorthodox here. That's again. Have you watched Zakaria play any football lately? No. Yeah. So that's why I think we've talked about that too. I think everything people talk about him is just, his past performances. Like when he was still in Germany, when he played, he got a chance to play in the Euros and all of that. And they don't answer the question. So you ask a very, very, very good question, Victor Adedoyin, my Niger brother. Again, I think it was Roger and either asked that question. If he was that good, why did Juventus again decide to let him go on loan, out on loan in the first place? It is simple, because he didn't perform. He wasn't doing well. Starling at wing back, again, it didn't work in the past 2 games. I didn't think it was due to that, him playing in that position. It was due to him not being in form. He looked tired again and all that, but we'll see. Good day, bro. Good to see you. Good to see you too again. I hope you're doing well. That Tottenham game flattered Manchester United. I hope it does. Shaka 868 TT. I hope it does, really. I hope it again. I hope it did, so to speak. But that's, by the way, I'm coming back to the panel again. Eddie, can you make a case for Christian Pulisic to start tomorrow?
Depending on the formation, if he's going 3-5, if he's going 3-5-2.
But should the manager deploy a formation that will accommodate him, given how well he's done? Again, you could say he's one of the most informed player up front there. He hasn't scored too many goals, but you can see the output. But go ahead.
No, he doesn't have to deploy a formation that will suit Pulisic. He has to deploy a formation that will win us the game.
Okay, that's again that argument topples mine. But just make a case. Make a case for Christian Pulisic.
Yeah, it depends on the formation he's going to play. As we said, the only plus for us going into this game for now is the unpredictability of his lineup. We are able to work on the personnel we are going to face coming from Manchester United. They are not able to play to really plan to face our players because they don't know who are the personnel, what formation. Mm-hmm. So that's just the big problem they are going to be facing about coming into this game. Unlike when they play Tottenham, they know exactly the personnel Conte plays with, so they were able to plan. But for Chelsea, it could be a 3-5-2 formation. It could be a 4-3-3, whatever it is, the hybrid type he plays.
It could be 1-1-1-10. Potter is crazy.
It could be 4-2-2-2, whatever it is. It could be whatever. Mm-hmm. So they cannot figure out what is coming and who is going to deploy where. But one thing I know is that Silva is definitely going to start. And looking at Jorginho playing all 90 minutes against Brentford, might not start, not sure. So if we look at all that, like somebody was saying, who's going to play right wing back will be Loftus-Cheek. So if he goes, I agree with Tabago. We go 3-5-2. 3-5-2, then we have Jorginho in among the 3 midfielders. So, but it has to be Jorginho, Mount, and Kovacic in that middle. Then we have Loftus-Cheek as the right wing back. Then the left wing back, Cucurella, whoever it is. But again, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't see the match. I didn't watch the game against Brentford. But I said, according to what I heard and what I've seen a little bit, Koulibaly did very well. So if he's going to play Koulibaly, but he likes normally to play the normal Cucurella also on that left side to give that balance for the game. So it just depends. That's what I say. It's a problem for even Manchester United to plan for this game. It's a big problem. They don't know who. Is it going to be Chilwell? Is it going to be Cucurella? Is it going to be Koulibaly? They can't figure that out. Who is going to play left wing back? Would it be Sterling playing? Are they going to face Sterling playing left wing back? Are they going to face Aubameyang and Broya? Are they going to face Pulisic? I mean, it's a combination of so many things for them, not being able to figure out what to plan for. So we just have to wait and see. But for me, if it's a 2 in midfield, I don't really go with Jorginho. Personally, I don't go with Jorginho. Because
what two really would you go with?
I'll go, as I said, I'll go with Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic. That's my 2.
Roger, let me ask you this now that I still, again, I have it at the back of my mind. The question I want to ask is this: Porter's unpredictability, is it all? Is it, you could say, all positives, or do you think this, there's a downside to it in any measure?
As a season progresses and as the years progress, it's going to be a positive because you need repetition in each variable of each formation. Initially, in his early tenure, which is where we are right now, it's somewhat of a disadvantage because you have a lack of continuity playing week in, week out in the same formation. Other than that, it's a huge positive because I guarantee you the game is at 17:30 local hours. I guarantee you at 16:30 when the team sheets are out, Ten Hag and his coaching staff are going to try to diagnose exactly, predict what formation we could be using. And I guarantee you they probably get it wrong initially. Because if you have a look at like the last formation, the team sheet, it looked like a 4-2-3-1 all day long, but it wasn't, So he has so much flexibility. You have to, as an opposing coach, it's a nightmare. Because you have to prep your players to say, by the way, Rashford, you may have to be looking at a back three or a back four. So X, Y, and Z. You have to prep each individual coach, each individual player accordingly to say this is what you're prepared for, as opposed to playing a Conte that's always a back three, So this is harder for their players. And he's going to meaning Potter, is going to probably, in all likelihood, make mid-game adjustments, which most other coaches don't invariably do. So I think he's an ace up the sleeve, in my opinion. I think there's nothing to detract from this other than the experience in the early stages.
Tarago, you want to add anything to that?
No.
Okay,
So
let's go ahead. Go ahead, Roger. You wanted to say something?
No, I'll just say I hope it made sense. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it did. Again, it makes sense. The unpredictability is usually a headache for the opposing manager because you cannot prepare 100%. You're not sure what structure they're going to deploy, and that's important in your preparation to know what structure you will again, deploy to counter that particular structure. So again, but would you say that's an issue in terms of having an identity? Which again, I don't think a team should have again a particular. Again, I'm a firm believer in a team not having a particular way that they play that everybody is aware of. But usually people complain about a team not having an identity. To me, I don't think that's an issue. As long as you're doing well, that's fine.
I understand. Like you have like a Burnley that plays with a back 4-4-2. They dig deep. They have a very low bar, and yet they score on the break. That's their identity. They lack flexibility, and that's because of their budget. I get it. I know what you're saying. I think that's overhyped. I agree with you. If you have so much flexibility and you have what is called a football philosophy, where you understand that you can either do this by playing directly or by possession-based football, if you understand your football philosophy, that's all that matters.
Yep, I agree. That's all that matters indeed. Again, let's talk about this man right there. He's not going to be playing, but to me, it doesn't make any difference because he hasn't played that much. But some Chelsea fans are actually jumping on it again, happy that he's not going to be playing. Oh yeah, he won't be playing, all right. But the truth remains, he hasn't done much for them actually under Ten Hag, especially.
No, he hasn't. He's clinical throughout his career. This is something you cannot deny. He's a very clinical player, but he comes with a lot of baggage.
Yeah, which was why I'd argued again. I don't want to see him at Chelsea Football Club again.
Exactly.
It just again, it doesn't. Yeah, go ahead.
Next.
Yeah, next indeed. Next one indeed. Anybody else on the panel want to talk about that? We should just move on from him. I don't think we should actually worry. Again, I'm happy that he's not available to be selected in the first place, but I think since his return, you could say he hasn't done well against us, and that's okay by me. But I don't know why some fans are celebrating that he won't be available for selection when he hasn't really played that much under Ten Hag, which is a good, you could say, a good decision from Ten Hag himself. But for this man right there, he's always been a tricky customer against us. He's one of those players. It's the same. You could say whenever he's playing against Chelsea, he seems to be at his best, scoring free kicks too. Again, plus again one-on-ones with goalkeepers. Anybody want to talk about him, or should we move on from him too?
No, I fear him.
Yeah, even when he's in his worst form, in the worst form of his life, when it's Chelsea, he seems to spring up surprises.
He has pace, and you can't teach pace, And on his day, he's very clinical. Yes, I base his drop in form primarily due to, and you can say that for the whole team in general, to Ten Hag, and in fact their previous coaches over the last 10 years, they just haven't got it right, But their squad is deep, and I fear him. On his day, he can crucify us.
He can, really. He can. Eddie, you wanted to say something?
Sorry, Eddie.
Yeah, I said it's same as what Roger said. I don't know, even in his worst form, comes to Chelsea, he just becomes a different player entirely. I don't know where he gets that from, So I say we be happy playing Chelsea week in, week out, because he always ups his game and he gets it right.
Yes.
So he ups his game and he gets it right most of the time, So I hope he doesn't get it right tomorrow, though.
Yeah, I hope. Again, he has missed quite a few of late, but still, again, when it's Chelsea, everything changes. Even clubs do that. Even clubs that have lost a million game, when the next game is 1,000,001 and it's against Chelsea Football Club, they get a win. So, Tobago, you want to add anything to that?
This guy needs to be stopped tomorrow, because, as I said,
and how do we do that, really?
Unfortunately, it plays on the left hand side. So I just want Chalaba. I just want Chalaba. Yes, I want Chalaba just to pocket him tomorrow, because Chalaba has been in a fine form. So I just want Chalaba tomorrow just to pocket this guy.
I agree. Chalaba's the key for him. You're right.
Yeah, but they deploy him as a central striker now in the formation. So it's Jadon Sancho that will be on the side of Chalobah if he's playing right side.
Then you know what? Then you have Silva that can read the play.
That's right, yeah.
Silva has seen it all, done it all.
That's why we can't play highlights.
Sorry, go ahead, Eddie. I want to. How did you say we're going to stop him?
I said we won't be able to play the high line tomorrow.
I don't think Potter usually. I think that's his thing. It's his traditional approach to the game. I think we'll be playing the high line, but how do we approach it that we'll be cautious enough to pay attention to those runs that he makes in behind again the last man?
Yeah, that's where I think personally. That's why I think personally that Loftus-Cheek will do that work. Well, Loftus-Cheek shouldn't be for the start until we dominate the game, or we start, or maybe we are ahead or something. Loftus-Cheek should be more disciplined. Don't go too forward. So it closes up the midfield where you have Bruno Fernandes and then you have Rashford as well pushing Silva, because they know 100% Silva is going to start, and they know based on his age the pace is no more there. So they're going to want to use exploit that position. So it has to be Loftus-Cheek being more disciplined to be able to cover up whatever Rashford and what's called Hernandez will be doing in that middle, because it's going to be tough. That's why I say I wouldn't go for Jorginho personally. But Jorginho's pace too. So we are lacking that pace in the middle if Jorginho is there. So, but physicality of Loftus-Cheek and the pace of Loftus-Cheek will cover up for in that midfield for us. That's my personal opinion, though.
Yeah. Again, it's going to be a difficult one. Another tricky customer there, I don't have his picture, is Anthony, the new signing, 100 million signing. I'm not sure if it's up to that amount. He's one player that's not easy to stop. You know exactly what he's going to do. Again, even it's predictable. His signature run of cutting back from the right hand side and taking a shot, he's taken a few, and I think he scored a two from his that signature move, and he nearly scored one against Tottenham yesterday. Again, it's I don't know how we're gonna do what we're gonna do about him. Richie, what do you think, really, Anthony?
Yeah, wasn't Anthony Ziyech a replacement in Holland?
Yeah, but you could argue he's more flexible
Yeah,
than
yeah,
Ziyech.
that's what I'm saying.
Ziyech is a better passer, but I think he
Sure.
will get you more goals than Ziyech will.
Yeah, he's physically stronger, faster. He's got a great left foot.
Mhm.
It's ironic that their replacement is actually better, an upgrade. So how do we contain him? So he's going to be playing on the left side. So we have Koulibaly primarily that will negate him, hopefully. And depending on the formation, you know, it's either going to be Cucurella or Sterling or whomever. It's hard to answer that question based on the lack of continuity for us knowing what the formation will be. If we always play a 4-2-3-1, then I can answer that. But right now, it's anyone's guess what the formation is or who's going to play anywhere. So, yeah, he's someone that definitely listen. They have power up front. There's no doubt about it. They're a newly manned team. They look different. Sancho is good. You know, Rashford, Anthony. They Martial. They have some big guns up front. There's no doubt about it. How do we contain them? By being disciplined in the back line, whether that be a 3 or a 4. Our goalkeeper has to definitely be on form again. Hopefully, he's not man of the match. Hopefully, you know, this is how we do it, by showing discipline and also not giving him space. When I say space, I'm talking about cutting down crosses coming in and getting tight to him if he wants to shoot, because you know he's going to cut in on his left side. He does it all day long. He invariably never touches his right. He doesn't shoot with his right. So you have to play what is called an inside stance. So don't let him fool you going on the outside. He's always going to cut back on the inside. That's how you stop him.
Yep. And Shaka, again, 868 says Porter seem not to focus on formation, but on a system of play. This, again, highlights one important thing. Again, people seem to use a system and a structure or formation interchangeably. Here's the thing, a system just refers to application. So, again, this is a delicious comment from Shaka for pointing that out. So Porter is not about the structure. It's about the application, which is why you see, again, a winger in the right wing back position, which, again, we've talked about that here on occasions. On occasions. So it's not about, again, when
again,
you see
coach,
the player. Yeah. Sorry?
And you saw that, I think, on a pre-match interview between Graham Potter and the Brentford coach, and the Brentford coach asked Graham Potter, why do you change systems between the game?
Yeah.
And he said, I won't tell you.
That's again, like I said, that was a breath of fresh air, like somebody said in the group. That was nice to see. Again, if that can continue, but though I see sometimes the match will end badly for one of the managers, and they won't be in the mood to even talk that much.
Yeah,
which is only natural. So I think you could say it was easy for that to happen because both teams will be thankful they didn't lose, especially us anyway. Yeah, it was a good tactical approach for both managers, but we were lucky, really. I'm not going to go into that. Hey, Eddie, you have anything to add, or should I just go ahead with catching up with the chat? Okay, it looks like we've lost. Yeah, go ahead again. This comment on the screen from Shaka. Potter seems he seems not to focus on formation, but on application. And like I've said, which is the reason why again we see wingers in the wing back position, because it's all about application, the system, not really the structure. But most people, they see a winger in the right back position, they go, whoa, he's not a defender, he can't play there, and all that nonsense. But if you're intelligent enough as a player, it's actually, again, a good place to be because you have a lot of spaces to work with. which is why you can see Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Joyce playing there. But go ahead, Eddie, if you have anything to say. If not, we can move on from that, really.
I think it's a combination of both, Coach.
Yeah, go ahead. In what sense? Go ahead.
Well, he does change formation. So, you know, I think he does focus on formation, but also the system of play. I think, yes, he changes players like using Sterling as a left wing back. Do you understand? And that system, you know, I agree. The application, he changes that. It's variables that he uses. You know, so that's a good thing. He's very flexible in that regard. You know,
never been static in that regard. Yeah,
no.
always a hybrid approach. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he doesn't look at a player and say, Sterling, you can only play this one position. No, I tell you what, you can play in a 3-5-2. You can play a left wing back, you know, a left back. I'm like, I never thought I'd ever see the day him playing that position. He did it, you know. So he recognizes. And I think it's to do with spaces with him also, like channels. I think he recognizes the player's positives, like his pace that he could utilize going into a channel, as opposed to, let's say, a Chilwell. You know, it's like he would not be able to, shall we say, take full advantage of a space behind their players in that channel. So he's like, who has space, who has the ability, etc., to go with the ball? Oh, I tell you what, Sterling does. Yes, you can play it. And you know what? You'll learn how to tackle. You'll learn how to defend also. So the nuances, shall we say, he recognizes, and the subtleties of that formation. And I think he plays with that. And that's within the system of play.
Eddie, do you want to add to that, or should I go ahead?
Yeah, that's very correct. Yeah, I agree with Rogers there.
Yep, thank you very much. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let's catch up. Let me catch up with the chat. We have 37 likes. Let's try and get it to 50. Yeah, go ahead. Were you still saying something, Eddie? Eddie, are you there?
Just for us just to play our game, actually. We've not talked about... Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just said... backs as well. Luke Shaw and Dalot, they like coming forward as well, supporting the attack. So we have to understand that as well. So whatever formation he's playing, he has to adapt to their own system as well. So he needs to combine both tomorrow, both the formation and the system. But because on paper, this is the toughest in the league that he's facing thus far. So apart from the Champions League, he's played AC Milan, but in the league, Man United is the toughest he's facing. And Man United,
yep, Eddie is going.
He's up with United. So United are confident going to play the big. So it's going, United, they're like confident playing the big teams because they played likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, and all. So they understand the way to play the big teams now. So for Potter, this is like on paper one of the big six that he's going to play so far. So we have to be very careful about that as well. So the formation has to be spot on, and then the system too has to be spot on.
Yeah, again, Ten Hag's teams are never easy to play against. High octane football, pace, again, organized pressing or strategic pressing if you prefer. And we seem to, again, we still have the same crop of players who seem again to struggle to play against teams that press us aggressively because we haven't changed. Our team actually haven't changed that much. Thank you so much for that great contribution, Shaka. I appreciate that. Again, I waited so long for this picture. Hope there's a winner this time. Again, they draw both games last season in the league. And again, where we created tons of chances but couldn't put our chances away. Chelsea were most dominant in both legs but couldn't do anything. Again,
exactly.
But again, I don't see I don't see that dominance. That wasn't under the same manager. It was under a manager. I think who was it? The second leg was under Carrick. They still had Ole with the first leg, and then the away game. They still had Ole.
Last year was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, right?
Yeah, but one of them was Carrick. Carrick finished the season.
Last year? Was it last year?
I think it was let's just say last season. It was Carrick that finished the season for them, and And in the two legs, it was about, again, soaking up the pressure from us and then hitting us on a break. And it nearly worked again. They nearly got a win from both games, but they didn't. They won again. You could say efficient in front of goal too. We're going to beat Manchester United, believe me, because the players again know how important it is for us. They know how important too. Again, so yeah, it goes both ways. I'm glad he's not playing because he always scores against us. Who's that?
No,
Ronaldo?
no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Since he came back, again, he's found it difficult to play against us, actually. Again, keep liking the streams, guys. We have 39 likes. Let's try to get it 50 likes as soon as possible. What happens with Rom next season? Yeah, that's a good one, but we're not talking transfer yet. I think we're hearing that we've already negotiated an extension of his stay at Inter Milan. Is there a chance he comes back? There's a chance he comes back because we're stuck with him. I don't think Inter will opt to buy him. It has to be like us paying taking, forfeiting nearly almost all the money we owe them, because we should still owe them around 60, 70 or around at least a 50. That's a lot of money and they need money. So I'm not sure what's going to happen at this point. But from what we've heard, he stays on. Rashford will have Cucurella to deal with again this time. And I am more scared of Anthony because, again, he has that fighting mentality that can make the difference again, and in the ability to finish from outside the box. Yes, please go check out the Jamport YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. Again, so I can give back to football development charity. And again, remember, we'll talk about that more. I'm going to skip quite a few again to get to some of the comments we have here in a bit. Okay, to a fifth stand again. Unless we play four at the back, Ruben and Chile are likely to start as wing backs. Yeah, that's the truth. Even with the four at the back system, if it's a hybrid application, they still start again. But let's see what happens. Yeah, link again. Boogeyman, I think we will stop sharing links in the chat. If you can, find other ways to show me how I can send you the link, I would do that one time because I know who you are. But sharing in the chat creates a serious problem. I'm sure you must have heard about that, how people do some nonsense to channel, again, content creators, cause them problems and all that. Lee has his coffee and is back in the stream. Nice to have you back, Lee. I'm going to skip quite a few stuff here. Also, again, Silva could lead the back line. I see that happening, again, given that, again, in his absence, to me, but I think you could say Graham Potter thinks otherwise. To me, if you ask me, I'd say when Silva isn't playing, the most equipped player to start centrally and lead the back line well and be comfortable there is Koulibaly. He showed how well he can lead the back line against Wolves. Surprisingly to me, in the last game, he started on the left. Maybe again, he was asked to apply his play differently in the sense that he ventured forward more and was again key to us. His long balls and his line-breaking passes were key to how well we did when we started playing. He had, I think, again, except for Jorginho, I think he had the highest number of balls into the box, which means more vertical passes rather than sideways and backwards. Thank you for that. Let's see what else we have here. Broya, Carney and Broya could get some minutes. No mention of Mount or Vats or Pulisic. Okay, let's see what happens here. Again, the stream is not visible on my homepage. Again, let's get the likes up, people. Again, it will help the YouTube algorithm. Yes, please keep liking the stream. And let's get it to 50 as soon as possible. It will go a long way. And Father says, again, Anthony and Sancho are ballers. Yeah, people I think Sancho is one of those players. You'd have to understand how football works to understand what he does for United at this point. You can say it's simple. He keeps them ticking on his day. You can really, again, man-mark them. We need to cut all passes, to them by closing down the spaces and pressuring Man United midfielders. Pulisic has to start to keep the ball and to keep them busy. Because if we don't have a tricky customer as Pulisic on the pitch, they'd have it easy. It would have players who are more likely to go sideways or backwards. But if Pulisic starts, again, he'd always try, to take them on. and defenders don't like that. So I hope he starts, but I think he'll start tomorrow. Again, AD, I don't know if you've met the case for Pulisic to start. I think you have. Roger, I don't know if you've met the case for Pulisic to start. Have you?
No, I haven't yet. No.
Okay, you go ahead and make a case for him. Convince us why he needs to start, brother, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. First of all, number one reason why Pulisic should start is Sterling has been playing very poorly. As simple as that. He looks tired, and the last 3 to 4 games, I know the last game he looked slightly better, but no, he's off form. And I prefer Pulisic. He's more technical. He's just as fast. He's by far more clinical. Yes, I admit he doesn't make as better, intelligent runs to the far post or near post that Sterling has made over his tenure playing in City. But I believe Pulisic is a better player, an upgrade over Sterling. I truly believe that from what I've seen. Yes, he does have injury concerns, but I believe he's superior in virtually every facet. That's why.
I think he's actually better than him in terms of making runs. Because here's the thing: I'd actually argue that Pulisic's strongest attribute is that he's always in the box, and if you can get him the ball, again, let me say just to be safe, like I've said before, at this point, again, his finishing wouldn't back. If I say it 9 times out of 10, no. I think you say at least 5 times out of 10 he'd put the chances away. But he'd always get into the box, and you can say he's the only player at this point who's capable of, trying to take on a position player. Carney Chukwuemeka has shown that he has that in him too. But the question is, will he start? We don't know.
I respectfully disagree, though. I think Sterling makes better runs to the post, to the far post and near post. But that's because he worked with Pep for 4 or 5 years.
But listen, my argument is actually I think he gets Pulisic will get into the box more often than Sterling does. Sterling sometimes, again, he has more of the tendency to opt for the separate option than Pulisic will.
Yes,
Pulisic will always, again, majority of the time, trying to take on his man and create something out of nothing. That Sterling often does. That was my argument.
Sure,
again,
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Let's put it this way: Pulisic has spent 4 years with Pep. Oh my gosh, he would be a vastly superior player.
Yeah, did Ronaldo really score against us 5 months ago? I don't remember that one. What game was that? Again, 5 months ago. You could be correct.
Yeah, that was under Tuchel, the equalizer.
Oh, he did really. Okay. I didn't remember that.
I think his scoring record versus Chelsea is quite poor, though, historically speaking.
Yeah. Okay, but again, overall, he may have played his last game for Manchester United. Again, a high line will create lots of spaces in behind for Rashford to exploit us again with his pace. The team overall, actually, and they have good passes from the midfield area. Casemiro, as much as he's a defensive midfielder, is a fine passer of the ball in the state. And again, defense splitting passes is capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Again, a question to the panel: Ronaldo not in the squad. Your thoughts? It's nothing. It doesn't make much difference. Yes, even if he scored 1 goal against it, I think even Thiago Silva was able to stop it. I remember that battle between the two of them. But that's why, again, it doesn't make any much difference. They're actually better off without him. And the same argument I made when they signed him, when people think they were going to win the league for them. I think it was on Worldwide Chess podcast with Matt J. Blight, where I said, again, my J again, not J Blight, J what? J.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was easy to go to J Blight, and you know why.
Yeah, I know why.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Matt J something 888, but Matt from Worldwide Chess, I told them that Ronaldo will be more of a problem for United than he will be a solution.
Sure,
but,
I agree.
Again, they were excited to have him back. They were and all that nonsense. Even when the rumors broke that we were looking to sign him, I didn't want that to happen. And of course, again, we heard the manager too didn't want that to happen because he brings more problem than solution. And it was Rodrigo. Just quickly, let me take care of this. This is a bit off. This is off topic, but let me just talk about it quickly. It was Rodrigo that argued that again we should look at his record since he's left Madrid. every other club where he's played after that, the numbers of the strikers that were there before his arrival starts dropping and his skyrockets. You see. So
Yeah.
again, whereas there's no, again, it's no, again, this is not nothing scientific, but again, if you pay attention to it, it just seems as if it becomes all about him, whether subconsciously or by design, it just becomes all about him. And again, his behavior at Manchester United now just shows, it just seems as if it's always, again, he wants it to be always about him again, and it can affect the team. And I think Ten Hag read that on time and decided, you know what, I'm done with you. At the breach, it was his first league goal against us. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for pointing that out. We have no choice but playing high line again, and Potter wouldn't change. That would never change. Again, that playing high line, Anthony can shoot from anywhere around the box. Yep, he's predictable. You know what he's gonna do, but you simply cannot stop him. It is as simple as that. Let me start with you, AD. Do you see this man starting? Do you see this man starting? Again, I think I see him starting. He was rested in the last game, but do you see him starting alongside Koulibaly? To me, that's a risk. I think we should start rotating him and Koulibaly for the central position. Chalobah, again, as well as most people think he did against, what was the last game? Was it Aston Villa?
Yes.
No, Brentford.
Oh, Brentford, yes, sorry.
Yeah,
Brentford.
if you look at the chances that, again, that Brentford had against us, that we were lucky they didn't put them away, you recognize that, again, we were everywhere. We really weren't properly coordinated. There weren't proper communication with them. Sometimes they were actually nearly running into each other. Aspilicueta mistimed his run because he was in the wrong position, and Chalobah was where he shouldn't be. And Aspi mistimed it again, that he was dropping as the ball was flying over his head. So I don't think we should risk starting Chalobah centrally again, even if Thiago Silva isn't playing. It should be Koulibaly who starts centrally. He has the experience. He's played there before. That game just reminded me the mistake Thomas Tuchel made against Zagreb away. We were lucky again. We lost that game actually. So your thoughts? Do you think again we should be playing? Chalobah should start centrally, or do you think if Thiago Silva isn't playing? But I don't. Thiago Silva most definitely will start this game. But the question now again. Should we be starting them both, or should we be rotating Thiago Silva and Koulibaly?
Well, we don't have that luxury right now.
Yeah, go ahead, AD, if you want to go first.
Sorry.
No worries. But I was asking you actually, but let AD go first. AD, go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that, Richard. I think we do not have. There is no way I don't personally like Koulibaly playing on that left side of defense as the three. It doesn't really suit him. The middle, he plays very well in that middle. But tomorrow, I say Silva is going to start because he didn't play against Brentford. So
most definitely.
Silva is going to start in the middle. So for the right side, if it's three at the back, I say it'll be Chalobah on that right side, and then the left side could be Cucurella. If it's three at the back.
So you think it will be a three at the back formation? I think it was so.
Yeah, that's what we don't. That's what we don't know. That's what we don't know. We can't get.
We don't have too much. We don't have so much enough to work with when it comes to discussing Potter's approach.
That's right. So it might be, if it's three at the back, I say it might be Chalobah, Silva, and most likely Cucurella. But sometimes if he wants to look at the last performance against Brentford, he might go with Koulibaly, thinking maybe with experience, because of the experience and all. But Koulibaly has to watch it against Anthony. Anthony might get him sent off. That's the risk there, because Koulibaly likes to get too tight to players, and he's a very intelligent player.
And the overlap, you could say, was too much.
Yeah, that's right.
It was too much. I think that's something he must do cautiously. Otherwise, would be exposed against United. As much as I'd like him to start again and Silva to start at the same time, I think we should rest him. Let Silva start centrally, and either Chilwell or Cucurella starting on his left. Even if it's a hybrid approach, even if it's a 4-3 approach, again in terms of application, But Roger, your thoughts. What do you think we should do at the back?
I absolutely understand everything that both of you have said. I really do. I get it. It makes total sense. However, there's always a however, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think when Silva's not starting, not playing, then yes, Koulibaly should be in the centre. In fact, starting probably, assuming that Silva retires or doesn't play next year, or eventually, Koulibaly is his replacement in the centre. That's for sure. My only negative about this is Cucurella playing on the left side. He does jump higher, so his height is somewhat negated by that logic. However, I'm not 100% sold on Cucurella yet. He's a little bit up and down. I want to see him play more consistently. And I know that's probably his most natural position. We've discussed that before. However, I would prefer, and I get it, Koulibaly is better suited in the centre. But if you have Silva in the centre, Koulibaly on the left, and Chalobah on the right, I think that's our best starting three, in my opinion.
But it's a risk.
No, I think that's the wrong term.
In the sense that we'll burn them out at the same time, and then we have a much bigger problem.
Yes, no, true. But I'm saying, as if you have one game to play, and this is a final, and you've had plenty of rest, what would be your best starting lineup?
If it's a final, then you throw everything you have in there, because there won't be another one for a while.
Right, exactly. I would say that this is our best starting lineup in a back three. In a back four, who knows? You know, probably Koulibaly and Silva starting in a back two. You know, and then James on the right when he's healthy, and Chilwell or Cucurella on the left. That would be your best starting four. You know, Fofana is injured. I don't know where he comes into that equation. But do you understand? Like, Fofana can't play left, can he? He's predominantly right, isn't he? Correct?
Yeah, on the right hand side. You're saying that's what I think we should leave him out of the conversation at this point, because he's not available, really.
Sure, I'm just saying, though, in the future. So for me, I get it. I understand that we do need to rotate, especially when you consider, you know, Silva is what? He's 98 years old now. You know, he's getting up there. You know, seriously, you can't play him every game. His body's going to break down. He's got tight hamstrings also. So you're right. We do have to rotate him more. We have to play him in the, with all due respect, lesser games. You know. But I think in this kind of game, this is not a quote-unquote lesser game. Silva has to start in the centre. I would prefer Chalobah playing on the. Sorry, I would prefer Cucurella. I would not want Cucurella playing on the left. I would prefer, what's his name, playing on the left. It's simple as that. No, sorry.
Did you say Chalobah?
No, I would like Koulibaly playing on the left. You know, as opposed to Chalobah. Sorry, as opposed to bloody Cucurella. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I would prefer that. I don't see. I see less risk. I see more risk with Cucurella playing on the left side instead of Koulibaly. That's what I see.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. You're very correct. I see where you're coming from there, Roger.
Yeah, in the perfect world, yes. I think Koulibaly is best suited in the centre. But I also think Silva is best suited in the centre. But we're going to have to start rotating. You're right, Coach. We're going to have to start rotating Silva far more, because the season is going to progress, especially after the World Cup. I guarantee you Brazil's going to go far, and they're going to use him every game. So we're going to have to judiciously use him, very cautiously and wisely, because his body will fail him eventually. It's just father time. So you're right about that.
Yeah, and then both of them are going to the World Cup. Koulibaly is also going as well. So we are going to have them both playing all through this break, you know?
Yes. And I think Senegal can go very far. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if an African team won the World Cup. They're due for it. They really are.
They have enough. I don't see any African team having enough to win it now. Senegal? But they will go far, definitely. You know, I don't see that. Again, we'll talk about that on soccer perspective anyway.
I know. On any given day, sir.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. I'm not going to get into the argument. If I say it's a club, if I mention the country from Africa, I think is well again have enough talent and capable of winning, but it has been poorly managed. It would seem like I'm being biased, but I'm not going to go into that right now.
I get it.
Yeah, you get.
no, but I've been, but hey, but coach, I'm honest about this. I think it was like 4 to 8 years ago. I've been saying I wouldn't be surprised if an African nation wins it because they have so much talent, they have strength.
Yeah,
it's just about getting it all together at the right time at the right place, and obviously being fortuitous enough with injuries. Because let's face it, this comes around every 4 years, and you do need luck.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think right now, again, they're poorly managed. The talent, again, there is something else with just poorly managed. But let's move on. Again, we have, again, no choice, again, but playing high line. I've read that one too. Yep, it's our thing that defines the way Graham Potter plays. Again, Havertz should never start the game. I'd rather see Breuer. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he starts again because yeah, it doesn't look as if Potter rewards performance. Correct? Maybe for some reason he hasn't explained. I wanted someone to ask him why Dean Christian Pulisic starts after, again, how well he did. Yeah, he missed a few chances, but overall he did well against Wolves, and he didn't start the next 2 games, surprisingly. Plus we're talking about rotation, and that didn't even happen. So, again, I hope Kepa remembers if you lose, he might get married, so he should make sure we get a mega super Kepa performance. I'm not sure I understand that comment right there. Thiago Silva will start. Chelsea will play a 4 at the back, Silva and Koulibaly as center backs. Otherwise, Chilwell will be right wing back. You think Chalobah will not start? I think Chalobah starts. Again, I don't see Graham Potter starting the 2 players you just named and leaving Chalobah on the bench. If he wants to rest anybody, it will be either of the 2 generals there. Again, but most likely, if anybody's going to drop to the bench, it will be Koulibaly of the 2. Silva has rested and probably ready to, again, to start. Coach is so biased from... I get where he's going. Yeah, I know where you're going to. Again, with Mendy in goal, Senegal don't have a chance. No, I think he's actually been in brilliant form for his country than he's been for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And again, and I think he will come back even stronger. But here's the thing. Even if he's doing well in training, even if he does magnificently well in a cup game, Potter is not just going to pull out Kepa between the sticks because Mendy did well in a cup game. No. It's that position where you don't even need to rest players. But maybe if he just wants to find a way to keep him happy and trust Mendy enough that, okay, he's ready now to start and start sharing games between the 2 of them, I think they'd be happy doing that. Again, because if we can keep them both, they're both really, really good goalkeeper. Mendy, at this, again, before he got injured, again, you could say lacked confidence. And that was just mainly his problem. That's it, coach. Sit on the fence. Yeah, again, I enjoy doing that. Coach is so biased for Koulibaly. I like him. Again, he's an intelligent player, and I try to be as objective as possible. The truth remains, again, Koulibaly is a very intelligent player. Again, you know that, and you know he's good. But I'm being honest here. Again, it says, again, Havertz should not start. He has been horrible since, again, the start of the season. And this one here, again, left wing back, I meant, yep, we'll have a few minutes to round up. We're not going to go for 3 hours today, which, again, until the transfer window opens again, and there's too much to talk about. We're not going to do the predicted lineup. My mistake. That will be in another show, either evening or, again, the Blue Morning Show tomorrow. Coming back to the panel, AD, let me end this one with you. But let me start with you, Roger. Make a case of Carney Chukwuemeka to start.
Hey, based on his last performance,
I don't know overall what we saw. To me, I wouldn't mind throwing him into this game.
Yes.
Some of the players on the pitch for United and that again, they're not that too old. Older than he is. I know he's just turned 19. But again, like Potter said, which I consider a delicious comment, by the way, if the quality is there, the age doesn't matter. And he played nearly 30 minutes, right?
Yes.
Didn't he? Yeah. So your thoughts? Can you make a case for him to start? Really?
Yes, I can. Quite simply, he's fast. He's scary. If I'm playing for the opposing team, I would be worried about him because you have to understand. Not only does he possess speed, but he's technical on the ball, and he's good with both feet. This is something that you have to understand. He's not predictable. He's a future star. You know, I believe someone said Villa should never have sold him. Well, it was a business decision, but
They had to, or he lives on a free.
Yeah, I know, because he wanted to go anyway. But we are lucky to. I couldn't believe we got him. I'll be honest with you, my jaw dropped when I read that. You know, out of the starting lineup, if I saw him in the starting lineup tomorrow, coach, I would have no qualms about it, because based on what I've seen him do for the junior under-21 teams for England and what he's done with his small cameo appearances for Chelsea, I think he brings so much. He brings energy, production, speed. He looks like he's been playing in the squad for years when he's only played a matter of minutes. I know it's a very small sampling rate to look at, but I don't see any negatives with him so far. And you know what? When he was purchased and then he stayed in the squad, I was a bit skeptical how long he would stay in the squad. I thought he'd be either loaned out or he'd be playing for the junior Chelsea. No, not only has he stayed in the squad, but he's been making cameo appearances, and they seem to get longer and longer, which bodes well. That's why I'm glad that age is not a factor, and it shouldn't be. Whether you're 16 or 28, if you're starting your first game and you're good enough, you should start. It's simple as that.
Yep, I agree with you. I think the only thing we must pay attention to, we must be cautious, because young players,
yes, I get it.
It can get into their head.
Yes.
Again, the integration of any young player into any particular team should be a gradual process.
Right, but it depends on the head on the shoulders of that player. If he's mature enough beyond his years to understand, that's different. But if the person is, shall we say, sheltered, naive, etc., and is not mature beyond his age, then yes, you're right. But Chukwuemeka could be the exception to the rule. He may be. Well, I'll tell you what. You look at who's the young English chap that plays for Bayer Leverkusen. What's his name? The midfielder.
You mean Callum on loan?
No, not Callum. Is it Bayer Leverkusen?
Sorry?
Yeah, that's Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's on loan there. Is it the player you're talking about or someone else?
I'm talking about the English chap, the English midfielder that was a star. He's only like 18 or 19. He's going to probably be going to Liverpool. I forgot his name. I apologize. He is years beyond his age. You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
You said Bayer Leverkusen?
I think it could. I can't remember which team it is.
Are you talking Borussia Dortmund, Bellingham?
Dortmund, yeah, Bellingham. It's like, how old is he? He's like 19, isn't he?
I'm not sure his age.
Yes, but
you don't have that in your spreadsheet?
No, I don't. I apologize, sir.
But go ahead. You only have Chelsea players in your spreadsheet, so go ahead. Yeah.
But yeah, he plays.
Bellingham is my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but yet he's got a head on his shoulders.
Well matured beyond his age.
Yes, and so that's what I'm saying. If Chukwuemeka, I don't know him. I have hardly ever seen him talk. But if the coach deems and perceives him to be mature enough to handle it, then why not? He could be another Bellingham in that regard. That's what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense? But you're right. We should protect them at that age on the average, but there is always exceptions to that rule. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think you make a good argument there. Eddie, I know why I left you again. I decided you'd be the one to end it again, making a case for Carney Chukwuemeka to start. You go ahead again. Why do you think he should start?
Just as the saying goes, if you're good enough, you're old enough. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So this guy is good enough to start for Chelsea anytime. But the DNA of especially Chelsea Football Club will not allow a youngster like that to start this kind of, especially kind of big game.
You can
It
say
won't
that
happen.
has changed. That has changed. Broya
No,
started.
it won't start. No, it didn't start. It came on.
No, Broya started the last game.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Broya, you mean? Oh, Broya is different from Carney. Broya played for Southampton. He's got Premiership experience ahead of Carney. Carney only played, he was in and out of the Aston Villa team last season. He was just few minutes in and out. But Broya was regular, kind of playing for Aston Villa. For Southampton. So Broya is quite different. And then up front, is that position where, Broya is going to have a chance because we only have Aubameyang there. So, and then that's the only reason. But where Carney finds himself now, you have the players like Mount, Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic, and also they're just miles based on what the managers will look at in terms of experience. But that's why you see our young. But if it was in the Bundesliga, the German league, Chukwuemeka will start. He'll be starting. That's why the development of Bellingham has gone so fast from where he came from Birmingham City. So now if it was Carney that moved from Aston Villa to say like Leverkusen or even Borussia Dortmund, he'll be starting. Carney will be starting the game just like Bellingham. But in English league, it looks as if young stars, especially in these big clubs, except for some other maybe like Liverpool, sometimes where you have Harvey Elliott and some other players playing, and sometimes maybe down to injuries as well. It's not in the DNA of in the English league to play these young stars regularly. That's why you see most of them moving. Even look at case in point, Hudson Odoi moving. He couldn't really nail down his position because of not giving him that belief that you are good enough to be starting week in, week out. So that's just the problem with Carney.
United used to have that philosophy, though. United were the
very good. Yeah, United used to have that. Yeah, United used to have that. But now it's all eroded, kind of. It's all gone. It's not more in fashion now. It's just more of result.
Well, they started Martial. They started Martial very young, and they started what's his name?
But he's a talent they paid for. He's not like usually.
What about Rashford?
Van Gaal did that. He was under Van Gaal.
Let's let Eddie finish.
He was under Van Gaal. Yeah, I think it was under Van Gaal. Van Gaal did all those things for. He brought Martial, Rashford, and all them into the squad. It was Van Gaal. But now these managers will not want to take that risk. It's not more of their job now as well. They want to protect their job based on results. Because look at what happened to Lampard. Steven Gerrard yesterday. It's all based on results. Aston Villa wanted Carney to stay with them. I tell you, based on what Gerrard went through, he wouldn't have been starting. Look at Coutinho. Coutinho cannot even get a start anymore for Aston Villa. It's about results. The managers do want to save their own job as well, so they don't want to.
That's important. As much as I agree that Graham Potter is a teacher and is capable of bringing about but you have to. I think Eddie makes a very valid argument in the sense that this is Chelsea Football Club. And I think he will prioritize keeping his job over giving chances, when unnecessary to younger players. But again, if you're capable of producing the result of which I think Carney is capable of, he showed us. Look, yes, I understand Christian Pulisic made a huge difference when he joined, the fray and when he joined the game. Carney also did make a huge difference because I paid attention to how he played. He passes the ball, and he still makes sure he creates an extra passing lane for the man with the ball. And that is good. And I love to see that in him.
Sorry. Who are you talking about? Who are you referring to?
I'm talking about Carney.
Oh, sure. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so he's not the one to just pass the ball and also just run like a headless chicken into the box. No, he passes the ball, and then he reads the game, and then make sure you have an extra passing lane. I think we've missed that in the team for a while. Kai does that. I give him credit. Not every player on the pitch does that for us, but that makes a huge difference. I like that in players. And plus, you could say he doesn't shy away from taking on whoever that comes at him. And we miss that. Yeah, go ahead.
Coach, I want to say something. I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the season that we'll see Carney starting quite a few games. I wouldn't say he may be a regular starter, but I wouldn't be surprised. Same with Connor.
Yeah, I think by the end of the season, especially Carney will become a regular.
Yes, I really believe that.
He's good enough.
Yes, he is.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
when the
Maybe
cup,
the
when the cup
Nigerian
game,
side of me is making me be a bit biased. I'm not sure
No.
that's the case, but the kid is good, really.
Yeah, listen,
no.
my eyes
I'm
on now.
a Nigerian as well. I'm a Nigerian as well, but I tell you, I've spoken about him. He's such a good player. I've talked about him a lot. He's such a marvelous player. He's wonderful. See, he's going to be huge for Chelsea Football Club going forward.
Eddie, you sure you're not being biased? Just let me know. I want to know, really. You sure you're not being biased?
No, bias. I'm never a biased. I'm never a biased individual. Honestly, never ever been biased. When it comes to football, never bias is not in my dictionary. Honestly, it's not in my lexicon at all. But see, the problem is, I watch a little bit.
Yeah, it is going in and out.
You could see, this.
Can
you hear me now? I was saying that about him during that cup run. Yeah, during that cup game, I watched him a lot during that cup run, and it was sensational. So, but what only happened was I didn't see it coming. I didn't know Chelsea were linked at all to him. I just saw bang, Chelsea getting Chukwuemeka. I wasn't surprised, and then Tuchel insisting that you're staying in the first team in the squad. I mean, that speaks volume. That tells you everything you need to know about this lad.
Exactly.
So for him not to be bought and sent on loan or to the under 23s or the younger grade, that tells you a lot. Because the other lads like Kaside and all of them are all been sent to the underage squad. So, but he is just there. Tuchel insisted you're going to be in this squad with me, and that's huge for him. So when the cup games come in, the FA Cup and all starts, you're going to see a lot of him. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Again, Tobago will start the show in about 10-20 minutes. So by the time this show ends, you will be redirected to Tobago's show. But before we do that, I want us to end on this note. There's a chance Aubameyang starts over Armando Broja, but Broja was really, again, he was excellent. Again, judging by his age, his experience. I think I'd be right to argue, again, that was an excellent, you could say maybe I'd be better off using the term shift. It was an excellent shift from him. Overall performance, he made good runs, but you could sense it that he was a bit nervous, which highlights, again, the importance of easing him into the team gradually. I think very soon, again, you could say he'd overcome, if you want to call it fright or whatever, he'd overcome it and he'd do better. And some people are still killing him for not squaring the ball to, again, a Mason Mount. There's a chance he didn't even know Mount was there.
Yeah, exactly.
Given that Mount, he was a bit further than Mount. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or maybe I need to see it again. But that's, by the way, again, the argument here is, AD, make a case for Armando Broja to start over Aubameyang tomorrow. But quickly, let me catch up with the chat. Correct, Broja has the Premier League experience. Yep, that's the truth. Carney is still making his Premier League quota. Yep, again, now you sound like a lawyer, really. using the top quota. But that's, by the way, again, but Man United, it's a different gravy from Brentford. Don't see Broja starting. Again, it's about pace and who will, start with the Manchester United defense. Give them something to work for. Give them, again, a problem. Again, but with Aubameyang, he's intelligent. Yes, he makes decisive runs. And again, wouldn't miss if he gets the chance. But will he get the chance? That's the thing, because he's dealing with defenders who are equally good and experienced, such as even, what's his name, the French international, who's well protected now with the pairing of Casemiro and Fred. So he'd be high on confidence, really. I'm talking about Varane again. I think he's probably, again, I think he knows Aubameyang very well. But we'll move on from that. Just give me a second. Let me catch up with the chat here. I believe Chukwuemeka, again, should they, again, he played against Brentford, was outstanding as everything you can see. Again, his work rate and physicality, again, his runs will give Manchester United a lot of problems. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe we can play them both, like a coach, again, like AD argued before. But I want to know if, after making a case for him to start, I want to know if we play them both, how are we going to deploy them? A 4-4-2? You let me know again. It is the Premier. It is the Premier League. A chairman that is the problem with a Premier League managers not taking the risk again to block the young players with the threat of losing their jobs. But with a lot of luck, Bali will be different. I think he's already planning to be different. He's approaching it again. Again, the typical business world approach, planning for the future, not just now. Again, he's setting it up in a way that, in a few years, 2-3 years, we will not be spending that much money in the transfer market because we already have our players again in our ranks, young players in our ranks who's gained enough experience, again, to become part of the first team. Plus, he gets again back fast if needed. And again, remember, we're planning on buying satellite, if you want to call them satellite teams or feeder teams, in all the countries where, again, we have our players get to play enough games over those teams. Again, if you understand, the plan, again, is perfect if the moment it starts yielding a result. Again, as much as I expect Sterling to start alongside Mount and Auba, he needs to be more decisive and effective on the ball. And again, and decide and bring that Man City mentality of changing the ball quick and not keeping it too much, trying to do too much. Again, maybe he joined us with that. Again, what Ty calls again the man mentality. Maybe that's the case. But let's end with making a case for Amanda Broya. It convinces that Amanda Broya decides to start.
That again, coach. Sorry, I missed that.
Make a case for Amanda Broya.
Yeah, 100%. I said it earlier at the start of the show. I said, Broya, I would have loved to see him start because he's going to give the defenders a different thing to think about. Him. I think if it's a 3-5-2, we have 3 midfielders and then 2 of them up front of Birmingham, and it might be Mount, Kovacic, and Jorginho in the middle, and then Ruben Loftus-Cheek on the left, and then probably Cucurella or Chilwell on the left. And then you have Broya and Birmingham. Rather than starting Sterling, and Sterling is easy to match. He's not got his mode. So we might just go with, I think, Birmingham. Birmingham being a good finisher. The physicality of Broya, and then Martinez doesn't like playing against physical players. Especially when you dominate against him, it's always very easy. So Broya pushing back. It might be something we look at as well. So that's my take.
Yeah, again, guys, we have just about 15 minutes to end this particular show. If you haven't, please drop your question, whatever question you have in the chat. We'll try to address it. Roger, coming to you. The question I want to ask you is this again. Make a case for Amanda Broya, but let us know if we decide to play him on Aubameyang, how do we accommodate them? Do we play rather again instead of playing again a 3-4-2-1, it becomes 3-4-1-2? Again, I think that's the easiest way to accommodate them.
Yes, or 3-5-2.
Or 3-5-2. But make a case for Broya. And again, if we're going to start them both, how do we accommodate them? What is the best way to accommodate them? Because for me, I think Broya is capable of playing on the flanks. But go ahead with your argument.
I see what you're saying. You're talking about in the front 3. Yeah, he is.
No, it doesn't matter the structure, but make a case for him starting. First of all, if Broya opts to play either one of him or Aubameyang, make a case for him starting over Aubameyang.
Sure. Starting over Aubameyang. Well, he has massive speed.
He didn't press the question and go, well. Go ahead.
Here's the deal. As a defender, there's one thing you fear more than anything. Any defender will tell you this, and that is speed. Because you can't coach speed. You either have it or you don't. You invariably lose it over time. But with Broya, he is an exceptionally physical, but yet very deceivingly fast player. So when you have him coming at you with or without the ball, that means that you have to start earlier or you have a lower line. And that will instill fear into the United's defense because he can go up top with height and he's clinical with both feet. He's not one-footed. He lacks experience compared to and Aubameyang, but there's only one way to get experience, and that's to play him. It's a big game. It's a Big Six game. I grant you that. Will he start? Probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised if Potter puts him in as a starter. I think he adds a lot. He's not one-dimensional. He can hold up the ball. He can face the goal also. You know, I haven't seen too many intelligent runs, but you have a look when he made that cross across the goal line. It was an incredible cross. He's very good at with the ball at his feet and turning with a defensive person behind him. So he's dynamic in that regard. You know, he adds a lot. I personally, I would like him to start. I would like to see him with at least 5 games consecutively starting, injuries aside. I really would. I think he's warranted that. That's why I believe his case is. I think he's dynamic enough and he brings a lot to his position and instills enough fear in the opposing defense. This is what I believe would warrant him starting.
Yeah, again, guys, we need just 4 more, likes to get it to 50 likes because we'll be ending soon. I'm just waiting for Tobago to start his show. Again, if he starts earlier, better. So everybody in the chat will be redirected to Tobago's show, and I'll be on the panel for a while there. Just quickly, let me, and you say that to accommodate them, we'll have to play 3 at the front. Does it really be, I don't think, the pairing, if we're playing 2 attackers, twin attackers, I don't know if their skill set complements each other. I'm not sure really.
Who's to say? Who's to say, Coach?
Yeah, until we'll see it. But again, looking at it from what we've seen, one has pace, the other doesn't have too much pace, and the other one is a creator and a finisher too in Aubameyang. I think they could make a good pairing. But usually, when you pair 2 players like that, it's usually important, good to mix it up with one being good aerially. Yeah. In terms of with a long ball, the other one makes the run, expecting a flick from the one that the ball is going to. I don't think any of them is equipped that much to do such. Again, to be one, if it's a long ball, the other one makes a run and trust the one that the ball is coming to flick it to him and understanding where they are. Again, in most cases, you don't really need to understand where the running individual is, but at least are you going to be able? I think Aubameyang is, hold up play in terms of aerial ball isn't the best.
No, not at all.
If any of the 2 is good at that, it'd be Broya because he's powerful and capable of doing that. But that's by the way. Eddie, let me get your thoughts on just quickly. Let me catch up with the chat, and when you make your thoughts, I think we're going to end the show. Hopefully, Tobago starts already so people are not redirected to a show that hasn't started. As I've read this one says I really don't want Mount to start the game because I believe we should go. He should be rested. Played. Yeah, I think he should be rested, but no, he starts this one. This game is too important for Mount to miss out. Please like and share the stream, guys. It's 47, 3 more likes to get it to 100. Old Herbert Sky, nice to see you, Kai Hart. Nice to see you here, brother. I hope you're doing well. Afternoon, guys. United looking good. Them not overconfident, but one positive is we are keeping a clean sheet. Yeah, I just need to be more clinical. But the truth remains, I don't think they're as good as we're making them to be. I think we're going to be a different animal than Tottenham than they were to them. But the truth is, they're going to be dangerous, especially in the attacking area. I don't want to see Sterling or Havertz. Well, it comes down to what the manager wants to do. Again, people, if you haven't taken a second to like the stream and subscribe to the channel, if you haven't, thank you so much for all the support. Alba is comfortable playing from the flanks too, but he doesn't have the pace. I think before you deploy somebody on the flanks, they should have, but let me not say he doesn't have the pace too. He still has pace in him, but how much can he run? Comfortable playing, from the flanks, but the great upside to playing both is that, they both have the ability to switch positions across the front 3 and be clinical on goal. I think that's by the way a delicious argument right there, and it makes a perfect sense. Yeah. So thank you so much again. I really don't want Mount to start the game because I think again, yeah, I've written that before. You want him to be rested. Speed versus end product. Broya versus Alba. He's not ready for Manchester United. I get your argument, experience over that, but again, will Alba be able, to give the Manchester United a problem? I don't think he will. Broya will. But then again, if we start Alba, we'll be missing one thing. Again, a proper person in the front area. You can say, again, yeah, but Broya gives you that. Maybe we should find a way to accommodate both. Broya, again, he becomes a problem for them in terms of his pace. Aubameyang, again, his position and intelligence and all that makes a huge difference too. But if Aubameyang plays, we have a problem. Again, are we going to be able to get beyond Fred and Casemiro to create clear-cut chances for him? Because him, again, he would be well positioned, but are we going to be able to get the ball to him on the carpet or in the air? Again, I doubt that. But if we'll be able to do that, I take it. Broya has no control. I think he has. Again, he's still maturing, but I get your point there. Again, what channel are we going to next? Tobago's channel in a bit. I hope he started already because we'll be stopping this. If it was up to me, I would play 4-3-2-1, but rather swap a 4-3-2-1. How many players there now?
4-3-3.
Yeah, again, 4-3-2-1, but I'd try that again. If you want to accommodate them both, it should be 4-3-1-2. Again, just flip the front three upside down to accommodate them both. Yep, again, what was that again? There was something else I said we were going to talk about before we call it a day. I totally forgot about that, but I think we can call it a day right now. It's been a brilliant show. But Roger, your thoughts on everything we talked about today?
No, I liked it. Constructive. I thought it was insightful. I'll be honest with you. I just want to say one thing. I think in the future, I think Broya and Kai would make a good two up front. They really will.
I want to see some responses coming at you in the chat.
Yeah, I know. But listen, I rate him. I really do. I think he's a very sophisticated, technical player. He really is. I just think those two in the future, if they can build a partnership, I think that will be quite impressive. It has serious potential.
Yeah, but again, thank you so much. How about you, AD? Your thoughts on everything we talked about today?
Yeah, it's been very good. I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, very good.
Likewise.
And we have to know what I want to end with is that Sterling shouldn't start. Kai shouldn't start. If there's anyone that will start, if he's playing maybe three, it will be Pulisic ahead of them because I think Sterling will be better off coming in when the defenders are like tired. So he uses his pace to operate. So I think he should come on rather than them being started from the get-go. Just when they tackle him, get all the. If he doesn't make his proper run, then he just gets out of the game, kind of. He doesn't really get into the game. But when they are tired, if he comes on, he could be able to implement his pace, and then he could do something damaging on the day.
Yep. Again, I agree with you. Again, and I think yes, Christian Pulisic will start this one. If he doesn't, then please let one of those journalists ask Potter why. What's going on? We really do want to know. Up to Charles says Josh Viola. Thank you so much to the Queen of the House for finding the time to join the show and help keep things civil in the chat. Thank you to Jamport Entertainment also for helping keep things civil in the chat. Thank you to Lee. Lee, again, I hope you're well, brother. Sorry, I didn't ask you that when you joined. I appreciate you finding time to join. Thank you to my brother, Fal Diazo, again, a.k.a. Boogeyman. I'm still seriously looking for a way to send the link to you. Again, please, again, I hope, again, find a way so that I can always send the link to you. And also, again, anybody else, again, my brother, again, Adekunle and Tamitope, I think next time I'm going to make you a mod. Again, thank you so much for all the support. And Thomas, again, Thomas SW6, thank you so much, brother. And everyone else, and for those on the panel, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Again, I hope to have you guys back again because it's been a brilliant discussion, in a civilized way. I'm just holding again. I don't know why Tobago is telling me he starts in 2 minutes. He should start by now because I really do want to end this particular show. Start already. Just start. Wait, I'll join you in a bit. Just start already, please. I'm begging you. Again, let's see what else we have here in the chat. Again, I'm good, Coach. Thanks so much. Again, sorry, I apologize. I didn't ask you at first. Here is the link to Tobago's channel. Yep. Again, please. Again, they will be redirected automatically. Again, Mario Minto, great show. Come on, you Blues. Again, thank you so much, Mario, for finding the time to join. I hope you're doing better. Thank you so much, brother. And here we have, again, a great show from the beautiful game, my brother. Again, you didn't get a chance to give us a comic relief today. But anyway, thank you so much. Much love here. Much love here, people. Again, I hope to see you guys on the other side because I'll be joining Tobago's panel again for a while before I go anywhere. And he shared the link to the panelist group if anybody wants to join that brigade. Thank you so much, guys. Again, much love. And I appreciate the love from all of you. Again, see you guys next time. See you guys on Tobago's channel, so to speak. And bye.